7 o'clock, Tom Barnard Podcast. Good morning, Brittany Arneson.
Hey, good morning, Rudy Pavich.
What's up, Tevin Pittman?
Good morning, guys.
Tom is going to be out for the rest of the week. Looking at weather, it is going to be hot today. My goodness, 93. Did you guys, anybody melt over the weekend from Memorial Day? It was ridiculously hot. It was like 76 at the cabin. When I got back to Minneapolis, they were like, hey, welcome to 104.
It was really hot, and Gogo has a fever, like always. She got pink eye and ear infection. So the one time I tried bringing her out, she had like a total meltdown, and I go, it sounds great. Like, it's just air conditioning for us.
Yeah. Going to get better, though. Lows are on 63 tonight. Tomorrow, though, here's the deal. Some thunderstorms before 1, and then a high near 68.
Okay.
We lose 30 degrees in one day.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
And I also now feel bad because I was by the pool yesterday and my girlfriend was like, well, this is probably one of the last nice days. And I was like, okay, it doesn't go from 100 to like 60 overnight.
Shut that mouth of yours.
So I'd just like
with
to
your
publicly
dumb
apologize to her.
ideas. Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
The rest of the week, though, should be nice. Sun, high near 70 on Thursday, and then Friday, sunny again, high near 76. And the weekend looks pretty badass, too. We're actually heading out to the Renfest on Sunday, it sounds like.
Are you?
Yeah, early in the morning.
You hate money.
Well, yes. Let me rephrase that. I love money. My family thinks that it just comes out of my ass.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like I've said
Renfest is expensive.
Well, like I've said before, my daughter lives like she makes $150,000 a year, so I have to live like I make negative $150,000 a year to offset the cost.
I would like to, full disclosure, I'm coming from a place of jealousy that you do so much. Your family travels a lot, you guys do a lot, and we live like hermits.
Okay, says the lady with the maid.
With the maid?
That puts you high up
with
on the list.
Maid? Okay.
Do you have a maid?
Yes.
I have, every 2 weeks we have a cleaning lady.
It counts.
Okay.
It's
That's
a
a
maid. It
maid?
counts. It's a live-in maid.
She's not a living maid.
She lives there, but only cleans once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Trust me, if that's the case, then I have a couple of live-in maids that live with me.
Live-in maid. I have a maid.
That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, that's our, instead of going to Renfest, we have somebody vacuum our home every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, okay, so Renfest is fun, but man, is it expensive. Like,
Yeah.
you even look at a mermaid, and they're like,
Yeah.
some cash in.
That'll be 7 clams, please.
right?
I'll say I've never been. That's like where you have like the huge turkey leg and it's like the medieval theme.
It's actually super fun.
Yeah.
And I've alternated. We used to alternate with State Fair. My ex-boyfriend had an ex-girlfriend who was a mermaid.
Yeah.
And that felt like weird territory now.
Have you seen the documentary on mermaids on Netflix?
No.
It's very creepy to watch, but it shows like kind of the journey of being like a amateur going to kids' pools in
That's what these women
the middle
are.
of nowhere.
They
Yeah.
sit on rocks.
Brittany, it's actually The Little Mermaid. He thinks it's a documentary.
It's real.
Wait,
Don't tell him.
No, it's where the fish sing underneath the water.
Yes,
That's-
oh, it's such a
that's
good
not a
documentary.
documentary.
Yes.
It's close as you can get.
I thought she grew
Amazing.
legs.
The new one. No. He's not an idiot. He doesn't think the cartoon's
The
real.
one with the black Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
that
obviously.
documentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are woke AF. I like Renfest. Actually, last time I went, they had, I always want to say dachshunds, but either dachshunds or dachshunds.
Yeah.
Those dogs, they had wiener dog races.
Oh, sure.
And it was super fun. But you just have to watch out because, like, if you think anything's free, like, oh, here, they're throwing knives. Let's sit down here for a little bit. They're like, put $5 in here. You're like, whoa, calm down. Look, I'm telling you, you look at a ferry for more than 2 seconds. They're like, would you like to give us some money? And you're like, not really. And then also the thing about Renfest is anything goes. Like, if you decided you wanted to dress up as Baby Yoda while you're there,
Yeah.
like, there's no theme, really.
No, I saw a guy head to toe black ninja outfit, and it was 97 degrees out.
Yeah.
Covered face and all.
Right? Like, you think they would stick to, like, some sort of time period or, like, decide, like, Game of Thrones-esque. Because, like,
Right.
you know, it's imaginary. But people decided you can be Elmo.
It's just Halloween.
Yeah.
It's literally.
It's like, why is the Mandalorian munching on that turkey leg over there? That's weird.
I know.
Yeah, it's too much. Here's my thing, and when you talk about, like, boy, your family does a lot, I'm going to sound like the 1%, and I'm not. I do not look at my bank account. I don't give a shit what is in there. Listen, you only have one chance on this globe.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm not going to spend my life, because that's all we did was pinch pennies when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know how badly I just wanted full diesel chocolate milk and to not mix it with skim milk because my dad had to save 73 cents on chocolate milk? F that. I'm going to drink chocolate milk. I'm going to go to Renfest. I'm going to travel and enjoy my life, because when you're in the goddamn ground, it doesn't matter anyways.
Does your sister have that mentality too?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's
Because
why
you guys go to all the things.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the best way. Like, and I feel like you guys are fine or whatever. I don't actually know. But like, it is impressive. Justin likes to, like, Justin has this idea that we're going to retire when we're 50, which isn't going to happen. That's in like 8 years for Justin or 7. And so I'm always like, why do you keep doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds nice.
It'll never happen.
Well, every time I hear stories like that, there was a friend of mine, his stepfather he's not a stepfather, his father-in-law was a guy who worked at a HVAC. They built at a factory, right? He was a sales guy for them. Had worked there for 35 years. Never took a trip. Never. The only thing he did is once every 2 weeks on a Saturday, he would take his wife Faye out to downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin. They would have a steak dinner, and they would go out and have a drink, like an old fashioned.
Yeah.
And they dance for an hour, and then they'd go home. And the reason why he saved everything he had is because he wanted to retire early, buy an RV, and then him and Faye could just travel the country and enjoy themselves.
Sounds great.
Well, he got to retirement day, and they gave him the gold watch, and he stepped off the plant, and he went to the doctor because he wasn't feeling well, and somebody had cancer and died 3 weeks later. And never had a chance to enjoy that RV, and never took a trip, never did anything fun with his kids. So his wife, now that she was a widow and she was like 57, said, "Oh, we're blowing all the money. We're spending it all." Takes the grandkids to friggin' Disney twice a year. They go on trips and yachts. She invested wisely, and her money makes her money. So she's not, going to be 80 and still having to live paycheck to paycheck. But they got the mentality. They watched somebody who all they wanted was that big payoff, and it never happened. Yeah. So who are you fooling? I get that you need to be smart with your money and save a little bit, but at the same time, God damn it, go out and live a little.
No,
right.
And we're actually lousy with her. Like, Justin has this game plan, but the minute, we were just, we grab stuff all the time, but we just, with the baby, we're not traveling, so I get a little jealous when people go do all the things.
Yeah.
But you do sound like one of those people who's like, I was going to quit smoking, but my friend's dad didn't smoke a cigarette in his life, died at 58 of a massive heart attack. And you're like, that doesn't apply to you, Rick. Take it easy. But I get what you're saying.
I'm all on board with the use that PTO. I have a friend that he hasn't used PTO ever, and he has an ungodly amount. And it's like, dude, your job doesn't think you're cool for saving it. Use the PTO. You get it for a reason.
The minute you realize how replaceable you are, you're like, this is ridiculous. The value I'm putting on work. And you know what? At the end of the day, we all have to remember there's a place out there called Margaritaville.
Yes.
Do. Because of laws on YouTube, we can't play the song. Do.
Jimmy, you legal son of a bitch.
Oh, damn it.
He passed away on Friday at the age of 76. He's been battling a rare, aggressive form of skin cancer called Merkel cell carcinoma. He's been fighting it for about 4 years. He was born 1946 in Mississippi, grew up in Alabama, graduating in 1969 from University of Southern Mississippi, and he was legendary. It's so crazy how many people came out of the woodworks to talk about him.
Yeah.
I mean, who was it that I saw that I was like, dang. Oh yeah, Paul McCartney.
Sure.
Long tribute online saying that right up to the last minute, his eyes still twinkled with the humor that said, "I love this world and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it."
Yeah, the Broken Lizard guys, we've had them on, Steve Lemmy and Kevin Heffernan. They wrote a really nice tribute because if you remember, they had Club Dread. It was a movie that had come out, and they sat down with Jimmy Buffett because they wanted to use Margaritaville in a way that was playful, where there was a guy who was on the island who was also a songwriter who claimed that Jimmy Buffett stole Margaritaville because he wrote a song called Pina Coladaburg. And they sat down with Jimmy Buffett and had lunch, and he basically granted his approval of, yes, you may use my song in your shitty little movie. And they were ecstatic about it, because the fact that a guy of that caliber would be nice enough to not only grant them permission, but to sit down and break bread.
Yeah.
Before that, I mean, what a good guy. And my girlfriend's family's they're all huge fans. They were all crying this weekend.
You were just talking about this last week.
Yeah, and I would make fun of how much they loved Jimmy Buffett, but man, he really was a staple in people's lives.
Yeah, I think he's got to be one of like the top 5 coolest people ever. Like just because he crosses every generational bridge, like racial line. Like everybody loves Jimmy Buffett. And is it just Like, I'm not a huge fan. Is it just Margaritaville that is his in 5 o'clock somewhere?
Yeah, if it's something about his feet being in the sand and basically not working, that's a Jimmy Buffett song. Although he does have one song that I love so much. It's called West Nashville Grand Ballroom Gown, and it's about meeting this woman who's a hitchhiker. And she gives him a letter and says, you can't read this unless you mail it in Nashville. So he drives all the way to Nashville and then delivers the letter, and then he reads the letter. It's such a great song. But he's another guy that doesn't get the credit for being as good of a... Like, I saw Pearl Jam on Thursday. Why do we give Bob Dylan so much credit for being a good songwriter? Eddie Vedder's lyrics are 1,000 times better than Bob Dylan's. And let's not forget, Jimmy Buffett, tons of great songs that nobody knows. Everybody just thinks of the Parrot Heads and the Margaritaville.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to Jimmy Buffett than that.
No, I agree with you. He's got a huge list. Of course, I always think of Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah.
But also he leaned into his audience, and it's funny because I don't make fun of people when they really like something. I think that's the lowest form of being a human, is attacking somebody who's finding fun in something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he did lean into a demographic that wanted to chill and have fun. And it's funny when you're like, oh, that's ridiculous. Because it's not.
No.
If people want to live Margaritaville, I went on my Uncle Bob brought us on a Margaritaville cruise on the Minnetonka. It was 5 o'clock everywhere on that boat. But it was super fun, and why not? And I love this too. On his, they posted, Jimmy passed away peacefully on the night of September 1st, surrounded by his family, friends, music, and dogs. He lived his life like a song till the very last breath, and will be missed beyond measure by so many. But there's something to be said about a guy who brings that much joy to people.
Right. Mm-hmm. Think of every time you've ever had a drink in the morning, and it's always, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I love Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. Also, Drake. Not a lot of chain restaurants under his belt. Let's not say. Yeah.
There's no Drake restaurants in the Mall of America.
Never had Drake cheese curds before. Yeah. Never gonna happen.
No, it'll never happen.
Margaritaville, on the other hand, you know what you're getting.
He had a net worth of over $1 billion from living that Margaritaville.
Jesus.
That's a chill life to make that much money.
Yeah. It is crazy that he does stand up for the guy who's just
No
man,
shoes.
Screw the man. I'm not going to be chained to a cubicle, man. I'm going to listen to Buffett all day. Just got my feet in the sand, Corona in my other. That's the life I'm going to live. Meanwhile, that dude is just literally throwing piles of cash to fire up his yacht. So ridiculous.
Yeah, I love that. I do love that. There's a whole thing on 30 Rock about Parrot Heads and how ridiculous, and they lean into them. They were the swing vote and the demographic. It was just very funny. Yeah, I don't know. There's people in this world. It's 76 first off is so young.
Ugh.
But there's just people in this world you just think are too big to die, and I'd have to think he falls in that realm where you go, oh, I don't like thinking about him not around. I think I'll think about him in a couple weeks and go, oh yeah, he's dead. Even crazy as you were talking last week, how MJ loves Jimmy Buffett.
Loves him.
That's
Yeah, she had a wedding to go to with her family on Saturday. And that morning I got up, I was at the cabin, and I saw it. I was like, ah. And then I texted her. I said, hey, sorry for your loss. She's like, I've been crying all morning.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, which, I don't know, maybe I think Robin Williams was probably the only guy that I've really, was distraught over. Where I remember having to take an afternoon to myself and just go, this part of your life is now done. The guy that you grew up idolizing.
Robin Williams was a big one. Michael Jackson was a big one.
Oh my gosh. I remember working at a Perkins in Arden Hills. I was probably 16, 17 years old when Michael Jackson died. And one of my coworkers just stood in front of the TV, in the middle of this dining room, just crying her eyes out watching the funeral on TV. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
That was a big one. And then Prince, I remember.
Yeah.
Because we went to First Avenue that night and like just watching so many people more. Like, you know, I'm not going to pretend I'm some huge Prince fan. I'm not. Like, obviously, there's songs where you go, oh, he's iconic. He's everything.
Yeah, right.
But just seeing how much the community was sad, it made me sad.
Yeah.
I was like, so.
Yeah. Well, and it even rained the day he died. Like, I remember, like, it was like,
And
that's
it
very.
snowed?
No,
And
because
that
it was
snowed
April.
in April.
Like-
That was the big thing.
Oh,
He
what?
even brought snow in April. Maybe it was a year later that happened. Yeah,
Yeah, because I was at Paisley Park after they made the announcement. I went out there to go cover it for the stations. So I don't remember it snowing that day because we went to Mumford & Sons that night, and we got to the XL Energy Center. They had played Purple Rain right before Mumford & Sons came out. They turned the entire XL Energy Center purple and then played Purple Rain. And to see 18,000 people all singing that song, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then Mumford & Sons came out and they did a bluegrass version of Little Red Corvette, like their 10th song. It was great. Yeah.
There was something that happened. I want to say maybe it was the 1 year anniversary where snow came down in April. It was very maybe it was like early April kind of thing. Well, I'm sure Bob will clear it up for us.
Absolutely.
Or he'll make things more confusing and start talking about eating cheese off pizza. All right, we'll be back with Bob Sansevere here on the Tom Barnard Show podcast.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombarnardshow.com.
I'm sure glad the miserable heat dome is now behind us, I'll tell you that. Fall may be just the best part of summer. Along with the cooler, shorter fall days, it's one of the best times in Minnesota for landscape plantings. ProTurf did my landscape this spring. Rick had some great ideas for my yard, and they can do the same for yours. A good fall established planting is much more likely to survive a summer drought the following year. A ProTurf certified landscape designer can help you design a landscape that not only looks nice, but will also increase the value of your home. Fall is not only a great time to plant, but also a great time for hardscape patios, walkways, and retaining walls. ProTurf is a Minnesota original family-owned business since 1982. If the weeds in your lawn are out of control, fall is the best time to get a head start for next year. Let them put together a 3 to 5 step program that is safe, effective, and guarantees results. If you want the best landscape on the block, ProTurf is ready to give you your free landscape or lawn estimate and analysis. Visit professionalturf.com and click estimates for lawn care landscaping or schedule an irrigation service visit. Hi, this is Tommy B. My friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales at their Albertville location off Interstate 94 would like to extend a special offer going on now through the Minnesota State Fair. Along with everything you can buy on a stick at the Great Minnesota Sweat Together, you should have some cool incentives with a State Fair deal when you purchase an RV from Niemeyer's Albertville location. How's this sound? Receive a free exterior ceramic coat and NanoCure interior treatment. These coatings provide a durable, long-lasting shield against dirt, water, and UV rays, and basically extend the life of your RV to keep it looking newer and lasting longer. It's a $2,000 value, free with purchase if you get an RV from Niemeyer's by September 5th in Albertville only. Plus great deals on their campers at both Albertville and Elko New Market, now through the end of State Fair. Take your passion on the road with Niemeyer Trailer Sales and see my guys and gals at Niemeyer's and look at what they got at Niemeyers.com. That's Niemeyers.com, Niemeyers.com. Your State Fair deals end on September 5th. Oh, and tell them Tommy sent you. Dougie, how's life in Baldwin?
I love it, though it's a bit hard to find a half-calf, decaf, heavy foam.
I'll give you some heavy foam.
Yeah, that's what he said. Anyway, I just came back from the National Ford meeting and got to hear Bill Ford, Henry's grandson, and Jim Farley, who's the CEO, talk about the future of the company. It was really interesting, and I learned some cool stuff. Read this.
Ford builds more vehicles in the USA than any other brand. Huh? I thought it would have been Tesla.
Not even close. Keep reading.
Ford outsold Toyota in 2022 and is on track to do it again. I didn't know that either. Probably these commercials.
Yeah, sure, pal.
Ford has successfully partnered with the UAW and hasn't suffered a strike in over 40 years. Ford also has the largest number of assembly workers in the United States.
You know, Tom, I've really fallen in love with the product. From the electrics to the Super Duties, thanks to you, a lot of people have reached out to put Ford on their list. If you want to talk cars in general or Ford specifically, reach out to me at Doug@flagshipford.com.
Flagshipford.com.
When you need someone to listen, A lawyer you know and trust.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says riding a bus to school is 13 times safer than riding in a passenger vehicle and 10 times safer than walking to school. The reality of school bus safety is that more children are hurt outside the bus than inside as passengers. Most of the children who lose their lives in bus-related crashes are pedestrians, 4 to 7 years old, who are hit by the bus or by motorists illegally passing a stopped school bus. Please be patient and use extra caution when driving near children and school buses. And never pass a bus when the arm is down and red lights are flashing. The children inside and their parents are counting on us. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in an accident, but if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to a lawyer.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
721 at the Tom Barnard Show. Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw & Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Good morning, Bob Sansevere.
Good morning to you all.
Oh, you okay? You sound like you're coming to us from a tunnel deep below the Earth's crust.
Yeah, Bob, why can't you step it up just because Tom's gone?
Well, why should I step it up when Tom's gone?
Okay.
Is there a reason?
That's a great point.
Yeah, you're right. Well, when you put it like that,
You
Bob.
piece of shit.
Hey, watch that mouth.
I will not.
Do you kiss your baby with that mouth?
Yeah, but
Come on.
she's got enough diseases. I probably shouldn't. Hey.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
What?
How was your Labor Day weekend, buddy?
It was all right. You know, we're cleaning out the barn. I was doing that in the 90-degree heat yesterday at our loft because we're having a wedding there. My son and his betrothed want to have the wedding there. And, the one thing I have to keep reminding them is we're a working farm. We're not a wedding venue. So you're going to have to, if you want a wedding venue, pick up the phone and find one last minute.
Does
that make sense?
I agree.
Yeah,
you have to
absolutely.
keep in mind, this is legit. This is not pretending to be a barn. This is a real barn.
Yes.
Who's officiating?
That would be the Reverend Bob.
Bob
Really?
Sansevere? How did you get that?
Well, we were over at a place called Rancho Grande, and between the chips being delivered and my Pollo Loco coming to the table, I got ordained. It's very simple to do. And as a matter of fact, I learned in the state of Minnesota, you don't even have to have one of these online ordainments to do a wedding, because reality is when you get married, you don't even go to the courthouse. You go to like the DMV to get your license. And once you sign it and turn it in, you're married.
Yeah.
So the other thing is just saying the words.
Yeah, just getting the witness signature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well,
I already put her into a panic because I said, she wanted me to, hey, can you tell me or read the vows for me? No.
The bride is asking you this?
Yeah, she wants me to do I am not going to do a run through for you or a rehearsal.
Oh my God.
Well, I said it, no, because you'll only micromanage and try to change it. But I did say, here's the one thing I'm going to say. And she went into a panic. I said, if anyone here has a problem with these two getting married besides me, speak or forever hold your peace. And she thought I was, I was not kidding initially. But then, no, I'm just kidding.
Bob.
I may do it anyway.
We can synchronize that, and I'll bust in the door and yell, I object, and just leave. Right away.
love you.
Yeah, this is when a friend of mine who had to pull me aside and be like, you know what, man, maybe you shouldn't be wearing a cross colors T-shirt. This is our moment where we intervene, and I say, Bob, do not say that. Don't do that.
This is not your time for stand-up comedy. You are not the center of attention.
Yeah. Oh, you'll wait and see. You know what, Tevin? You should run in with like a toddler.
I am all
What about me and little Tevin?
Yes, I am all for
I'll let you
this.
borrow Go-Go for this.
I've DJ'd many, many weddings, and yes, the ones that are most memorable are the ones where there's a little bit of jokes being played, and so I would say
No, you guys.
They'll appreciate it years from now.
Heart stop, as somebody who's just met the bride, she's lovely. Quit giving her anxiety. This is not your time, Bob. You get enough attention in your everyday life.
Okay. I brought that, well, it wasn't a house, it was a tent. I brought the tent down at Sam's wedding because I'm looking around and, Sam's up on the table where the bride and groom and their groom's people are and bridesmaids. And one of the bridesmaids was Cassandra, who I don't know if have you ever met her, Brittany?
I don't think
She
so.
was our first foster child.
Oh, maybe. I think maybe at that pizza event we went to.
Perhaps, but when Sam was born, Cassandra was like, I think she had just turned 14, and the neighbor was going to watch. We couldn't reach her. It was the middle of the night, so we said, let's go. The first two faces, other than the doctor, that Sam would have seen would have been Cassandra and me.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you know what? Sam, you're here. Your mom's here. Cassandra's here. I'm here. Let's reenact that blessed moment when you were born. So I said, Mary, get behind Sam and spread your legs. It'll be like that moment when she came sluicing out, and Cassandra and I will be waiting and watching.
That's your big joke? Was talking about your wife's vagina in public?
I didn't mention her
The
vagina.
point
I just
is
said she
it
comes
crushed.
sluicing out.
Yeah.
Did it crush
And it brought the
It
down.
crushed.
though?
Brought down the tent.
Or did everyone politely go, oh, Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, no. They thought it was, except for maybe the mother-in-law. She didn't find it as amusing.
Yeah,
as I did.
No.
shocking. I am shook.
Yeah. But, and I will keep it straight, because it's a challenge to me to try to not make light of anything.
It is a challenge.
You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes.
Listen, you just stick to the script. Go basic is better.
Why don't you just pipe down?
Yeah, no,
Stick to the script.
what I'm hearing is everybody already thinks you're funny. They're coming into this expecting
Tevin?
you to be funny, so
Tevin,
it would
no.
be inappropriate for you
You're
not to
literally-
be funny.
Yeah. The
How
worst
can I let
mind
them
frame to
down?
have.
Kevin's right.
People
I'm
are
not going to keep it
expecting-
You're gonna
No.
disappoint.
No.
He's right.
You're-
No, he is right. He's
It's like going to
absolutely
the next John Wick film and there's no murder
Okay.
and blood involved. It's you got to be
The
funny.
hell with the challenge.
Yep.
I'm not challenged anymore. I'm just gonna.
Tevin?
I'm gonna be me, and whatever
Tevin?
that means, we'll find out.
Oh, but-
Hey, they asked me. I wanted my number 2 son, Spencer, to do it because Spencer, he goes to St. John, so he's got the religion thing. He also he's on the rugby team. His nickname is the Rev, because they never used to do a prayer before a game. And he said, we got to do a prayer. We're St. John's. So he leads the prayer, and I figured it'd be ideal. I said, nope, not doing it.
Yeah,
So-
they came to you. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't.
Exactly.
I don't think at that age, because they're still in their teens, you want a teenage boy.
Teens? Spencer's 21.
Oh my God! How dare
He's
he?
an adult.
Why do I thought he was
Shane is-
18? Oh my God!
Shane's in his teens. He's 17.
Bob, if you want to make this memorable, everybody's expecting you to be the Bob Sansevere that they know and love, to be out there and be wacky, but I think you go 180. I think you get up there, you grab that mic, and you get a little tremble in your lip, and you go, my little family is, they're all grown up. And then you just let the waterworks just come out. Oh, Bob, you would, everybody
okay.
all night would be coming up and patting your back going, Bob, that was an
I got to
amazing
be honest with you.
speech.
I'm listening to Tevin, not
Thank you.
I know you would, anyways.
I'm telling you.
Tevin's smiling like as if he's
okay.
like.
I might crash this wedding just so I can observe the show.
Bob, do me a favor, though. For God's sakes, whatever you do, don't do that dumbass joke you already talked about. You work with Brian Miller. Have him write you 10 minutes of material.
The talking about birthing your child in front of everybody
I would leave
is
that
not,
Well, okay, it
not
doesn't
kill.
fit with Sawyer. I mean, it's not, it doesn't fit with him. Cassandra wasn't there.
Oh,
She'll
yeah.
be at this
so
wedding, too. of
that's
course.
why
Yeah.
it makes less sense for Mary to spread her legs
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
your son.
Although you guys can do the reenactment of what it would be like if she was there. So she is kind of like your mom.
Put it this, there was a spreading of the legs when Sawyer was born as well.
See, it's interchangeable.
You know what? Each kid, because Sam was tough to get out. I mean, they had to use that suction cup on her head, and I'm looking and I'm saying to the doctor, so she looked like one of the cone heads.
Yeah.
Will that get back to what would be considered normal?
You're like,
because I didn't know.
You're still looking at her head when she's got like her hair done. You're like,
Yeah.
Is it under there?
By the time we got to Sienna, she did come out like poop through a goose. And I caught her. Did you know I delivered Sienna? I think I told you that.
I don't think catching them means you delivered them.
I think it does. What would
Oh,
you
yeah,
call
it does.
it?
I'm the one who took her out, and I told the doc, hey, I don't want to see I delivered on any bill. And the whole umbilical cord cutting, I did all 5 of them. Do not put that on the bill either.
That's true. I'm glad. They say Americans won't work.
Right.
They say people
Yeah.
won't get to
You're
work.
a
but
reverend.
Here you are.
deliver babies. Like,
And
you're a
what?
comedian.
And it's a big deal now. I've seen in a lot of news stories about people don't want to. I didn't work from home. I went to the hospital to deliver her.
Oh, see, I
a
was
lot
gonna
of people
say-
want to work from home these days.
I was gonna say, how real of a farm is this? Because if it was a real farm,
was a
you
real
would be
farm.
pumping babies out in on a stack of hay out in that barn.
And would you? Where it's nice and soft where the pigs sleep.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, if it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for your kids to be birthed in a manger. It's fine.
I think Justin cut Gogo's umbilical cord, but I feel like I should get to on the next one. Like, that seems like the fun, easy task.
Are you making an announcement? Are you with?
No,
child?
I know I'm not with child, but I would. I mean, I just mean like if it does happen, that's what I want to be the one who cuts it.
I don't think you'll be in any condition, and I wouldn't trust the mom to cut the umbilical cord.
Yeah, I feel like that's
after
asking a
giving
lot.
birth.
Yeah.
I was
You guys
fine.
are busy.
Did-
yeah, you were fine.
Did the doctor say anything weird to you about the umbilical cord when you were giving birth? Like I remember when my little sister was born, she told us not to swing from the umbilical cord like Tarzan.
That stuck with you.
Yeah, and that stuck with me to this day because
Wow.
I remember looking at this lady like, I don't know how dumb you think I am, but that was not.
That was not my game plan.
That's not my game plan.
I got really lucky. I only pushed for 16 minutes. And the one thing, yeah, that's what I'm
Efficient.
telling you. I was good. I was good to go. Once I got that epidural, I was like, all right, game on. Like,
Okay, you know the thing I remember from all 5 births, and is there even a Panakuchen house anymore?
no.
No, last one I
Okay.
saw was
It's-
in St. Cloud.
All right, it's good because I swore never to eat there again because that's what the placenta looked like. That thing that they would bring
Yeah.
out, the apple something or other. I don't
Panakuchen,
even know what it
Panakuchen,
was.
yeah, like,
What?
yeah.
Where are you eating? That you? What is a pet?
No, you clearly you've never had a
No.
child to see the
No,
placenta.
No,
I'm
he
saying
doesn't know what
I'm saying
Panakuchen is.
what restaurant are you eating at where it looks like you're eating placenta?
It's
That was the
Panakuchen.
Panakuchen house,
They
I
run
think.
it
The
out.
one in was in Edina.
It was a whole thing. You were too young. They run it out. It was like a whole tradition. It was all hot, and they go Panakuchen.
What was it called? What was
I
that?
thought it was a Panakuchen.
It was called the Panakuchen, but it was filled with air. It was fluffy. And if
Yeah.
you didn't get it to the table
Okay,
in
yep.
time, then it would
would go
deflate.
flat,
So you'd
yeah.
have to.
Which is
which was
and
there.
I think that's Norwegian for placenta.
I think it is. That would not be shocking. Are you looking up
Yeah, I'm
Panakuchen?
a
looking
bunch
at-
of
well, I'm not
blonde
looking at
pregnant ladies in the
placenta.
back.
This is a work computer.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Hey, let's get this out of the way. The Twins, they put up 3 touchdowns and missed 1 extra point, scored 20, and Cleveland had a couple field goals. 20-6, they crushed Cleveland, go up by 6. They better put them away the next couple of games. Royce Lewis, grand slam, career high 6 RBI. Yet that 3 other guys had home runs, at least that. And here's the thing about what Lewis has done. Second player, first, by the way, only rookie with 3 grand slams in an 8-game span. Second player ever with 5 home runs and 3 grand slams in the same time frame. Joining, anybody remember a guy named Lou Gehrig who did it in 1931? That is staggering.
Wow.
Yeah, I know Lou Gehrig, but not for baseball.
From the disease, right?
Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, what he's done these last 8 games has been incredible. And a player like that, if he stays hot, could really lead this team to at least 1 win in the postseason.
So does that mean all of our problems have been solved? The Twins are going to march their way
Oh, no,
into
they're
the
probably,
World Series?
you know what? Last time they played Cleveland, they won the first game and lost the next 2. So let's see what happens going forward here. It's a good start, but this team is, they could, anything they do will not be a surprise. And the other thing to mention, we're just days away from the Vikings opening the season. 2 days from now, the NFL opens with Detroit playing Kansas City, which is not that glamorous a game to me. I know Detroit's supposed to be better, but we'll see.
Let me ask the 2 Vikings fans here. We had fantasy football draft yesterday. 10 teams. Nobody chose Kirk Cousins as a quarterback.
I think
Not even as a backup?
Not even as a backup. I thought this is ridiculous. Even though I'm not a Vikings fan, he is definitely a top 5 quarterback. Is he not?
Absolutely.
Not top 5.
You don't think top 5? What do you think?
There's 5 guys in the AFC that are better than him. Easily.
Okay, who?
Okay, was Justin Jefferson the first pick in the draft?
Yeah, as he was for everybody's draft.
Somebody's got to throw the ball.
So how do you have the guy who's the first? He's going first overall, but nobody wants his quarterback.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. I mean, I would have taken him, but I already took Mahomes.
Okay, must be
You
nice.
can have a backup. Can't you have a backup?
What draft number were you?
What did I take? I think I was the 7th pick. So I'd taken Mahomes my 3rd
Out
pick.
of 12?
No, there's only 10.
10.
10, yeah.
And snake draft?
Snake draft.
Where it does front to back, back to back.
Yeah.
And you got Mahomes?
I'm just impressed at your like snake draft. Like
I know these
good
things.
for you,
Thank
Brittany.
you. I actually played fantasy from like at least 15 years. I'm obsessed.
Nice.
It's a numbers thing.
Yeah, I would not have expected that. But
Okay,
Dang,
who
you
were your
got
first two
Mahomes.
picks?
That's
You know what?
nice.
First of all, a fantasy football draft with 10 teams isn't really a fantasy
Well, that's
football
what somebody
draft.
else said, and I said, "Listen, who the hell's got 11 friends? No one's got 11
Yeah,
friends.
I
That's
rely.
impossible.
We have 12 in our draft, but I rely on the people I know knowing people. Like we've got a very social commissioner, thank God, because he always gets 12 there. It's my army friends too, so they're the worst.
Well, okay, let's find out who you took with your first pick and your second pick.
I'm opening it up right now.
I'm so impressed.
You don't remember your first pick?
Oh Christ, Bob!
it was a
I
long
can't-
time ago.
I can't remember.
Bob, I
Are
don't
you
remember
kidding
my
me?
first pick. It's all.
I had to be reminded of who the black guy was who walked in this morning. Jesus,
It was really awkward. He pulled me aside. He goes, "Brittany, can we have a
who's
sidebar?
this guy?
Sidebar?"
That's what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
It was. Yeah, give me a second. But I don't know. We were talking about it yesterday about. So obviously, 10 guys on the planet think he's not a top 11 quarterback in the league, and I thought that's ridiculous. All right,
But no one drafted a backup. Everyone drafted a first, just one quarterback, and that's
That's
it.
how I
no,
usually roll.
because I took my backup only because I want to. I don't know. For some reason, I've been watching, Hard Knocks on HBO. I took Aaron Rodgers as my backup, just because I
You
have.
have Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback.
Well, that's what happens when you only have 10
10
teams. You can have players like that. Yeah,
Damn.
absolutely. I don't
It
know.
becomes an all-star team.
Yeah, and
We're
I don't-
all-stars.
And I don't think Kirk Cousins, like talent-wise, is a top 5 quarterback. But I think just the numbers he's going to put up because of the offense he's in, and having
Yes,
Justin
Jordan
Jefferson on your
Addison
team, he's going
now
to put up
and
top 5
Hawkinson.
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers will be impressive, but I mean, there are easily 5 quarterbacks if you were doing a draft. Just go Mahomes, of course, Justin Herbert. You've got Joe Burrow.
Yep.
You in Buffalo, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. Just going around in the AFC, like I said, guys that I would want to be running that Vikings offense more so than him. Rodgers is another one. There's a lot of guys that I'd rather have running that Vikings offense than him.
So you really think that Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than?
Oh God, yes.
What?
Like, I don't know about right now. I can see like for the future, but I think
No.
Kirk gets a little bit too much hate.
Wait, so in theory, right now, you could grab him. You could grab Kirk Cousins. He's just sitting there.
Just sitting there, yeah. So my first pick was actually Tyreek Hill.
Is it too late to join your league? Do you guys need?
You know what? Let me be the 11th.
What you guys
team.
left
I'll just
behind
take
is
what's
enough
left.
for a pretty decent team.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up the fact why we only had 10 is because somebody in the league died. So
Okay.
So that's why we had 12, and then somebody else we were like, well, we don't like this guy anyway, so we just booted him out to make it even. So
Yeah, well, is his name Jimmy Buffett?
it
Rest
is
in
Jimmy
peace.
Buffett. I didn't want to bring that up.
Humble way to
Thanks for
gotta say
bringing it
you're in
up,
a league with
Brittany.
Jimmy Buffett.
Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, like it's a decent team I've put together. I mean, they gave me my grade, and it was a B- from Yahoo.
You want to know what I got?
They gave you the grade.
I got a-
Great.
Mel Kiper chimed
I
in.
got
Yeah.
a D+ on my draft, and I said, "Screw you, Yahoo! It hurts my feelings so much." They give me grades on everything. Hurts my feelings so much.
Die, Yahoo, die.
You spent like 3 weeks researching what players you want to get.
Yeah, I
and
even asked
D+.
Phil and Judd. I got involved, but like,
Oh, so that's their fault.
but then the chaos ensues, and I sat every time. I always like, okay, when can I do quarterback? When can I? And I always panic, and I don't know.
You know, I wouldn't mind because I haven't done a snake draft in a few years. I wouldn't mind doing a snake draft.
It's fun.
Every draft I do is an auction now.
Yep. Yeah. Auction, I think, is a lot more exciting.
Well, you have to know what you're doing.
I
in
don't
an
want to
auction.
do that. I've done an auction. It's a lot of work.
The worst.
Oh, pardon us.
Have you ever done a dynasty league, Bob?
Just did one last night for the first time, and it was a dynasty league starting off from scratch.
Sucks.
I'm not a fan. I don't like the 28 players. It's
No.
absurd.
What is a dynasty
so
league?
It's like you do. So your first season, you draft. It's like 28 rounds of draft.
Yes, that's
and
what it
then
was.
Every year you draft like just the rookies that are like free agents that are coming
Oh,
into the league.
wild.
And so it's like you're actually like quote unquote running a team, and so like you're trading like picks. Like I was in one and I got kicked out because I like didn't make any trades, and
Yeah.
everybody's trading like, well, I'll trade you 3 years from now, first round draft pick for it's like it's the most ridiculous thing ever.
If I had a lot of time, I'd love it.
Now these are nice guys, but they're crazy because they want. Here's when our draft was yesterday on Labor Day at 3:00 in the afternoon. So I'm walking around with my phone. My sister came in from Jersey, watching what the picks are, and then jumping in when I could. I missed out on a few good players because who holds a draft on Labor Day?
I know, we do. Yes,
I'll say mine was yesterday as well.
7 p.m.
At least you
last
did
night,
yours at night.
Yeah.
This one was at 3 in the afternoon.
That's
and
garbage.
I said, don't any of these guys have a life, including me? All right. Hey, look at the time. You guys got to get me off the air here because I have some work to do. I have my BS show to do. So kids, always fun. And Tevin, find that toddler to walk in and say, hey, what about me and little Tevin?
I'll go look for a baby right after the show.
He stole an Asian earlier this morning, so we were wondering why he showed up with an Asian baby. Now it makes sense.
Or borrow Brittany's little Tevina.
Yeah, what's Gogo doing whenever this wedding is?
She's available.
Perfect.
She might have pink eye, but
or wait,
I'm gonna get a baby Bjorn and show up.
That's how I travel.
All right, we'll see you kids
See you,
later.
buddy.
Take it easy.
All right, Tim Lammers was not in this segment at all.
Bob,
This is
actually.
Bob Sansevere, sponsored by Bradshaw and Bryant Personal Injury Lawyers. Can we acknowledge, Bob, get out of here. Can we acknowledge that Bob fully treated us like garbage because Tom wasn't here? His mic was shit.
Yeah.
He never leaves before 7:45. He always makes it to the break, and he's like, well, I better get going.
Yeah.
It sounded like he woke up at about 7:19, just rolled out of bed. Yeah, no mic.
Is this what it's
Terrible.
like to not have Tom on the show? It's like everyone's going to just treat us like garbage.
Yeah, just get like put that TV or the camera on the TV so people just think that Tom's
He's here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just like a true millennial, I don't listen to anybody 30 years older than me, so it's fine.
It's fine.
It's
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, I have to talk to you guys about these. Okay, I want to save the dad rock for later, especially if Allie's going to be on.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about these. These are pet peeves, and I want to hear if they are valid or ridiculous. A bunch of people weighed in on different pet peeves. And you tell me, like, is this a totally valid thing to get upset about, or are people being ridiculous? When someone puts their shopping cart next to the cart return but not in it.
How far did they travel with it?
What? Why would that matter?
You're talking about out in the parking lot?
Yeah, they put it next to the cart return but not inside of the cart.
No, you got to put it in it.
Okay.
Like
You're factoring in like if they had a long walk to the cart return?
Well,
it's an extra step.
Okay, so if it's exactly what we think it is that it's somebody who was not too far from the cart corral, they walked their cart over and then left it on the side of it.
Yeah, but like what if they were far from it?
No, I'm just asking because there's other factors here.
Is there though, sir?
Do you see the 16-year-old kid with the red vest coming out there with that little that cart thing that pushes him along? If he's walking up to it, then I go, here you go, bud. You just take it. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, but that's not what we're saying.
Yeah. So a person who just puts it next to it, no. There's an entire Instagram that is called like cart narcs. That's what it's called. And they find people in parking lots who don't put their carts away and then call them out for it.
This is what you do. So I've watch somebody do this. Okay, keep in mind, I'm saying this and I would never do it because I don't want to get shot. I always live my life that if you piss somebody off, you're going to get shot. Just because who knows. So like I watched this lady put the cart right next to her car and shut her door. All you do is you take the cart if you're near them and just put it right behind their car. Because they have to deal with it.
Jesus.
I know.
Okay, I'm kind of on their side at this point. What happens if they back that thing up and it goes flying across the parking lot?
They see it. It's a matter of being annoyed. Like, you see how annoying it is to have a cart? Yeah, no, okay. We won't do that. Don't do that. I don't recommend doing it.
Yeah, put your cart back. Like, if you're going to walk it all the way over there, you might as well, take the extra step.
People, if there's not a full-on rule, I think, 40% of people won't do it. Like, if it's not a full-on law. When you're watching TV, the audio and video are even a millisecond off.
Hate that.
Yeah, no. As a guy who edits videos for a living, it drives me. But I can't watch it. It drives me a bunk. It's awful.
So do you have trouble when you do
like the dubbed audio for like a Spanish film?
Yeah, I can't do that.
Would you rather have subtitles in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
Yeah.
When you want to, no, this one's stupid. When you want to turn right on red, but the person in front of you is waiting to go straight.
Oh, never mind. I thought you were gonna say. Sorry, I thought you were gonna say the person in front of you
they're living their lives.
No, I thought you were going to say the person in front of you is also going to take a right but won't turn on red.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's
I hate
so
that.
annoying.
Like,
but like when people are just going straight,
no, if you're
like,
going
that's
straight,
a
I take that
ridiculous
back.
one.
Sorry.
Yeah, because it's not like you're like, come on, go a different way to work. Come on. For a while there, I really thought you were a problem.
Oh, nope.
We'll do one more. Oh, this when someone eats around you, but you're not eating.
I don't mind that.
Oh, I don't get
Unless
it,
they're like
whatever.
loud chewers. That's
Yeah, I don't
different,
mind that either because I feel like everyone's on their own schedule. Like I have yogurt in my purse and I'm really excited to eat it. So I really wanted to clear. The whole reason I did this list is wanted to make sure you guys are cool with that.
Getting back to the cart thing about real quick. The only reason why I want to bring it up is because now with the advent of everybody having a camera in their hand and there's security all over the place, a lot of people will only do it because they feel like they are being watched.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
so I hear you. Yeah.
But this weekend, we were up in Walker, Minnesota, and I needed to stop and get a gas can. They wanted like $30 for a 2-gallon gas can. And I stopped at 2 different places. I thought, there's no way. The dad in me will not allow me to buy a $30 gas can.
Yeah.
So I went to a parts store, and I open it up, front door. I walk in, and I think to myself, wow, it's very quiet and dark in here for some reason. I don't know why that would be. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. So I look around for the gas cans. I look another $30 for the goddamn gas can. I think that's not happening. So I start walking towards the front of the store, and I realize there's nobody in here. And I yell, hello, don't get anything. I walk around to the other side of the store, and maybe there's some gas cans open. There's a few gas cans that are on the other side of the store. Don't see any of them. So I walk back towards the shop area, and I go, hey, don't hear anything. I realize I walk up to the front door, and on the front door I see the hours.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. This place is supposed to be closed.
Oh, no. Someone left it unlocked.
Someone left the front door. What happened was, so I walked up and I was like, I got to leave this person a note. Because obviously I look up and I'm on camera.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm not going to steal anything because that's awful and terrible. But I did leave a note. This is very Minnesotan of me. Your front door was open. Open is underlined 3 times. I didn't steal anything, but someone might next time. P.S. Your gas cans are overpriced. and when I walked out the door to go back to the car, I grabbed the door and I shut it hard. And then when it latched, it wouldn't open again.
Oh, okay.
So somebody did lock the door. They just didn't push it all the way in.
I see.
But and I was thinking about it, even if I looked up and I didn't see cameras, there's something in me that karma will come back and bite you in your ass.
Yeah.
And there's no way I was going to take anything and steal a gas can. That's a garbage move.
It is true, though, that, like, age is a big I mean, I wouldn't think that I would, but I don't think I would think that much about it in my 20s. Mm-hmm. But for sure, like, now, no. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no way. Like, my husband's so nonchalant about stuff. Like, if, like we buy, what did you do one time where, like, we bought a watermelon and you could grab it on the way out. It was over at Trader Joe's. And I was, like, announcing it to everybody, like, we paid for this. And he's like, Brittany, take it easy. He's like, grab another one. You know, like, he wouldn't. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's him who, like, literally doesn't care what anyone thinks of him. And then there's me where it's like, I'm so worried about putting my head on that pillow at night and thinking about the way I'm perceived, the way I feel about myself, and, like, just the overall what the good and the bad that I did that day. Mm-hmm. So, like, that stealing of the gas can just not would fly. But I think in my 20s I might.
Right. Well, now you're like, is stealing this gas can worth, like,
me losing sleep?
Right. Like, or, like, if I'm going to commit a crime, it's going to be, like, the greatest heist of all time, and then you're never going to see me again. I'm not getting in trouble for this $30 gas can.
That's true. That's so wild about the lock. Oh, my God. We got to go. Mm-hmm. We got Kristyn Burtt up next here on the Tom Barnard Show.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at TomBarnardShow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
I am so happy to welcome back our longtime friend Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to the show. I've known Steve, the owner, for many years, and I completely trust Sabre to keep my house comfortable. Why? Sabre does everything the right way. They always put the customer first. I love the team at Sabre because their service experts are experienced NATE certified technicians. They're not salespeople. Their pricing is completely upfront, and they fix only what needs to be fixed, nothing more. Sabre is dedicated to giving customers what they need when they need it and at the fair price, keeping your family safe and comfortable without breaking the bank. Give Sabre Heating and Air Conditioning a try. I know they'll take care of you just like they've taken care of me and my family. Whether you need a new Bryant furnace or air conditioner replaced or just simply need a service call to get you going again, go to saberheating.com. That's SABRE heating.com. Sabre and Bryant, whatever it takes. This is Tom Barnard for Niemeyer Trailer Sales. They've been a part of Minnesota since 1965, and their name says it all. They are family. If you want to take your passion on the road and make memories camping wherever you want, no motors, but pulled trailer RVs, go to Niemeyer Trailer Sales. True story. The very best brands live at Niemeyer's. Like the latest from Rockwood by Forest River, #1 in their class, whether you want a tent trailer, expandable, travel trailer, or a fifth wheel, Niemeyer Trailer Sales has it all. Plus, they deliver on the forgotten art of customer service with personable employees, often sons and daughters of the third-generation family-owned business who simply do what they say they will do every time. Come explore their huge selection and consult with RV service pros. You will leave satisfied no matter what you are looking for. The Niemeyer family welcomes you to visit both of their locations in Albertville and Elko New Market before your next vacation. Head to NIEMEYERS.com and put your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
7:53, Tom Barnard Podcast. Good morning, Kristyn Burtt.
Good morning. Everyone have a good long weekend?
Absolutely.
We were at urgent care yesterday for half the day because Gogo woke up with big old pink eye, like blammo. But otherwise good. I mean, it was fine. She slept in a lot because she had a huge fever.
Poor thing. Pink eye is such a kid thing, and then it runs through the house, so you be careful.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about this before. I don't know why, but I feel like pink eye is so embarrassing to get. And I think ear infections are too. We've had. Was it you and I had this talk? Yeah. Me and my mom had this talk too. That's why I got confused. Sometimes I think of Rudy and my mom as interchangeable. Pink eye is mortifying. Ear infections are also mortifying.
I'm the strep throat person, so that also feels like a 12-year-old illness.
Yeah. Get it together, Kristyn.
Mm-hmm. I know, I'm trying. They tried to take out my tonsils, and then, we went to the ear, nose, throat doctor, and he's like, you know what? I don't think you need to get it done. It was kind of like at that era where they stopped taking tonsils out. Like, I was kind of like at the bridge of that, and he's like, she'll be fine. And I've had throat problems my whole life, so whatever.
So you wish they would have taken them out?
Maybe. I think it would have helped. I get laryngitis quite a bit, so it probably would help. But, if you get your tonsils out as an adult, it's a serious surgery. It's a lot easier when you're a kid, so I'll deal with it.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. There are things, too, They casually talk about putting tubes in ears, and I'm always like, that's because you did tubes, didn't you?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had bad ear infections all the time, and they put tubes in your ears, and I think they just fall out automatically at some point in your life.
Should I be watching for that? Like for you to fall out of your ears?
No, there's just going to be some huge tube that comes out of my ear. Yeah.
Bob Sansevere at a wedding is like, get up on the table and spread your legs so we can get Tevin's tubes out.
Can we acknowledge how inappropriate that was?
Absolutely.
It was.
I was listening, you guys, and I am totally traumatized.
Same.
God.
I've just imagined how everybody else at that wedding felt. Like if his wife goes up there and just now spread eagle as Sam's crawling out.
And I know the polite laughter that happened. I got to get a hold of Sam and make her call in.
Oh, my God.
I mean, she's on.
I just have to say, it reminds me why my husband and I eloped. So I avoided all of those situations on my wedding day.
And what did you guys do? Where did you guys elope? Did you do something special for did you go somewhere? Where'd you go?
We went to Palm Springs and eloped. It's kind of our fun like getaway. But really quick story on my wedding day. While we got married on a Friday morning, just like 10 a.m. But my husband got called back for a commercial on our wedding day, and it was for a huge Super Bowl commercial. And he was like, "What do I do? Do I just turn it down? Blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Go." So we got married, and then he took off. He went back to LA and went to the callback. And he then drives back down to Palm Springs. It's only about a 2-hour drive. And we go out to finally get to go out to celebrate our wedding for dinner. And I go, "How was the callback?" And he's like, "Man, not that great." And I'm like, "Do not tell me that."
Yeah,
I spent
right.
the whole day by myself. But it turns out that he booked the commercial. So it was the greatest wedding gift.
But don't you feel like that's such your guys' relationship? And again, I have like very little insight, but what I know is you guys both value your careers a lot, and you both support each other in that endeavor.
It was such a big campaign. Because I knew what I would do. I would be like, what if I had booked it? What if?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I don't want him to have the what ifs. So I was like, just go and do it. And, whatever happens, happens.
Can you tell us what it is now?
Oh, yeah. It was a Toyota commercial.
Woo! That Toyota money.
It was
And they
really
only
good one. It ran for quite a while. So it was one of those things that I was like, thank goodness I said yes. And I always am like, aren't I the cool wife? Come on. He had that for at least a full year.
I know, but being at Palm Springs by yourself isn't that terrible. But it is your wedding day, so I get where you're coming from.
It wasn't horrible, but we go to this one place. They know us very well. We've been there since we were dating, and they had gotten us like a cake and a card. And I didn't want to get into like why my husband wasn't around. I'm like, he's napping. And they're like, "But we want to give you both the cake and the card." And I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like floating in the pool, and they're like, "Where's your husband?" I'm like, "He's napping." I'm like, they must have thought like, why is he napping all day?
Yeah.
She killed him. Yep, she killed him.
Yeah, that's the thing about actors who date actors, comedians who date comedians. They understand the lifestyle.
Yeah.
But the problem is you can't date somebody who's in your same realm. Like actors should not. You shouldn't do any of that. That's why you got to have somebody who's an entertainment reporter and an actor, or a comedian should date somebody who is a producer.
A job?
Yeah, like a producer on a night show or whatever it is. Yeah. Who
so
has
uncalled for.
something. Why are you saying I don't have a job? MJ doesn't have a job?
Has a job. A comedian should date someone who has a job.
Well, yeah, there's an actual source of income there in the family, is what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's why I married like Justin. Like, I really like him. He's pretty neat. But like, also, I would never date something in the military. I would have never dated something in radio. I wanted I remember he's like, "I got a pretty boring job. It's really stable," and I was like, "Take me now," in the French fashion. Like,
hang on, let me crawl in the back seat. You said stable?
I know,
stable,
right?
Stability. Oh my God, I'm so hot.
Let me reenact Sam's birth real quick.
But it is true, though. It's often, it helps to have someone in the industry that they understand. I mean, my husband was gone for 2 months. He was on tour at the beginning of the year, and you have to be able to understand that. Our first couple years of the relationship, he was on a national tour. So you just have to roll with it. And it's not for the faint of heart, honestly.
Yeah, I think and it's wild too, because if Justin was gone for 2 months, like the first week I'd be kind of sad, and then I'd get really used to it, and then I'd be thrown off when he comes back. Like, was that like an adjustment for when he came back?
I always call it, I do my bachelorette weeks where I'm like super excited and I'm having like girl dinner of like, chips and dip and watching my own programs. But then you do get lonely and you're like, oh, when are you coming? But we always make sure that if he's on the road for 2 months, I go and visit 2 or 3 times. Like, we really make an effort to stay connected.
Joe wrote in, one of our listeners, "I had my tonsils out at age 29. They said it was going to be a big deal. It was really no big deal." So
well, that's good.
Right, and you get to eat ice cream and pudding. That's
popsicles. I know. I'm a popsicle person.
All right, Kristyn, what's happening? Is anything happening in Hollywood that we need to know about?
Can we talk about Burning Man?
Yes.
Can we talk Burning Man? Because I went and watched this fabulous interview, and I think it was yesterday. It was with Diplo, who was there. If anyone doesn't know who Diplo is, he's a DJ. He escaped from Burning Man on Saturday with Chris Rock, but he is such a good person who dishes a lot of dirt. And what we didn't realize is that along with Chris Rock was also Cindy Crawford, Austin Butler, Kaya Gerber, and Randy Gerber.
Oh my God.
He somehow managed to escape the cameras and kind of like went under the radar. But there's Diplo, like, dishing the dirt. They walked 6 miles to the paved road. So that just tells you how remote it actually is. Then they hitched a ride with this guy named Tony, who took them to the next town over where they waited at a diner. And then they all collectively gave this guy $1,000 to drive them to the Reno airport, where, of course, they went to their PJs, their private jets, to get out of there.
6 Mile Walk is not in that, like, you'd have to trust in the fact where you're going, there's a destination.
And those conditions were really bad to walk in. Anyone who maybe saw some of the conditions on the news or on social media, people were walking with garbage bags. It was really, your feet would get stuck. It was not great conditions at all. It was disgusting, honestly.
I watched a bit of this unfold, and I was thinking, has anybody ever gone to Memorial Day weekend, Edgefest or X-Fest out in Somerset, Wisconsin? Right. Being stranded in a field, like that's what the entire concert was. I remember it got so bad at some point, I think this may have been 2003, there was a huge rainstorm that came in, flooded all the campgrounds, mud everywhere, people couldn't get out, and somebody needed an ambulance. And we were pushing the ambulance through the mud to get it back to the back part of the campground to be able to pick this person up. And there must have been 50 of us pushing this ambulance.
Oh, my God.
They got to the back. They put the guy in the gurney, and then they turned around, and then we pushed it all the way back out to the highway in Somerset, Wisconsin, and then we just went right back to our campsites and enjoyed the rest of the concert.
Like, at that point, can anyone just go, why doesn't somebody grab Tim in his sleeping bag?
Just drag him out?
Just carry him ourselves.
Like, at this point, you're pushing an ambulance through. Oh, my God.
But unfortunately, it was pretty gruesome what happened to the guy, so he couldn't, unfortunately, make his way there by himself. But, yeah, obviously.
I'm not built for these. I'm not built for these, like, you know, you have to bring your own toilet and then you have to carry it out situation.
No.
Yeah. Camping now in your 40s? Are you goddamn kidding me? Like, this is why they built Howard Johnson. I don't need to be camping. I want to be
go camping as long as they have like one of those like little places to shower and use a bathroom.
Sure.
But,
and I will say, if you ever want to do some great camping on an ocean, go down to Florida, because their public amenities, like they have the shower, they have the bathrooms, they have all these great spots where you can just sit and you know, you don't need to like bring a grill. They actually have like an electric one that is set up.
Wow.
It's amazing. And the campgrounds are $14 a night.
Wow.
Around Daytona Beach. I can't remember the name of the city that we were in. But yeah, camped on the ocean for 3 nights. One of the best times of my life, for sure.
California has a few of those too.
Yeah.
Definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it.
My brother just described, he went to, he flew into Bozeman and then went to Yellowstone, and they did this like elaborate 2-day hike to this like thing, and then 2-day back. And he was just like going into detail about where to hang his food, where they have to hang their stuff for bears. And I was like, that's not gonna be my vibe. Like,
when I was in high school, I got conned into going on a hunting trip out in Colorado, and it was like a camper in the middle of the woods, like hike 2 miles up a mountain every day, 2 miles down. Like you have to hang your food up, and I'm like, absolutely not. It's cold. It was a blizzard. No.
It's also funny to think about these people at the music
Burning
Man, because they have the most ridiculous clothes. Like, they're all wearing like you know,
it's like a Mad Max.
Yes,
scene,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, there's no sun coverage.
No.
There's no whatever. So it's like, this is not the place.
Yeah, flowy tie-dye and sandals is not what you want when you're stuck in 3 feet of mud.
And they're to do drugs in the desert.
Yeah.
So let's be honest.
I will say one thing about Burning Man. The people who go, very respectful and giving towards the other people who are there.
Nice.
Where I feel like if you go to a festival in Minnesota, especially when we went 20 years ago, it was every man for himself.
Yeah, it definitely has that vibe. When we would go to, oh my God, I'm so bad with names today. What's the one that I would, Moondance Jam.
Oh, sure.
Oh my God. If you were a girl, like if I was I am a girl. If you walk into a camp and like the women didn't like you at that camp, you better get out of there.
Yeah.
Like immediately. For some reason, if you throw off the weird vibe, why are you giving me that look?
No, what are they going to beat you up if you're?
Yes.
Yeah,
oh my God, they're wild
very
there.
Territorial. I agree.
Yeah.
We had gone one year to X-Fest. This must have been 2001, 2002. And there was 6 of us staying at a campsite, and then a campsite next to us. It was 3 women and a guy. And they were the biggest assholes to be around. They were like all they did was argue with one another. Somebody caught them stealing ice out of one of our coolers. It was just a mess, and we were so tired of these people. The last night of the concert, we go back to our campsites after the show. These people are all up. It's 2:00 in the morning. They're all screaming at each other. The girls are drunk. Everybody finally goes to bed. We wake up. It's like 8 a.m. We're packing our stuff up. The gal in the tent next to us, she crawls out, realizes all of her friends are gone, have left. They left her in the middle of this field in Somerset, Wisconsin. And all she had left, she had her tent, she had no clothes, she had no cooler, she had her car with her, and she had her phone. Unfortunately, they locked her keys in her car, so she calls her mom and she's crying. Mom, I don't know what to do. I'm here by myself. They took the clothes, they took the camper. I don't know. And oh my God, somebody took a shit on my hood. Somebody crawled up onto her car and took a big dump.
Oh my God!
She did something. What did she do?
Karma? No.
We were dying, and I thought,
What
well,
a biohazard.
this serves you right, girl. And we packed up and left. I have no idea how she got out of there.
I thought you were gonna say you had to give her a ride
Definitely
somewhere.
expecting you we helped her break into her car.
Absolutely
nope.
not.
No,
We left her there, and she's still there to this day.
Yeah.
Like, Rudy, you're not wrong. So, like, Moondance Gym, it's like all these little camps. And, like, 80% of them, everybody loves you. And I'm not the type that the girl that people walk in and go, oh, she's after A, B, or C. I'm a pretty, like, raccoon mode person, like, you know, dancing and falling around and, like, whatever. But sometimes I'm a very loud and obnoxious person. Sometimes I rub people the wrong way. And if you go in their camp, especially, like, women will be so mean, and they're like, get out of here or whatever. You're like, oh my God. So you realize you're like, we can't go to, like, I've burned that bridge. That side of the map is dead to us. We can't go over there because, like, and maybe they won't fight you, but, like, it's enough to, like, they want you out of your area. And so you're like, everybody keep in mind the northeast corner, dead to us.
That is gang territory, and we are not allowed.
Lines have been drawn.
I may have stole a beer and got caught, and it was they didn't like me to begin with, and then next thing you know, yeah. But Burning Man is not that vibe you're telling me.
No.
All right.
No, but I think that there's going to be a little bit of blowback with this particular one because they've been asked not to leave, and then people start to leave, and some people that left over the weekend, they're like, did you really, like, take everything with you? Because, you're supposed to pack in, pack out. And, did Chris Rock really pack out? I mean, to walk 6 miles? Probably not. So I think that there's probably going to be some blowback for some of the A-listers that left early.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yeah. And all in all, everyone's fine there, right? Like,
one death.
there is?
Yeah.
One death.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I think it was electrocution, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Yeah.
Don't love
That's
that,
not great at
especially
all.
for the title of the event.
Yeah, right. It sounds like they were still going to do the actual burning of the man. Like they were going to do the burning. Was that last night, or were they going to do it tonight?
Last night. It kept on getting delayed. It was supposed to be Saturday, then Sunday. Then it just was too wet. But it was supposed to go off last night. So hopefully it did.
Kristyn, is that anything you'd go to ever?
No.
I would never do Burning Man. I just think, Coachella is a stretch for me. I'm one of those that, like, I'll go to Coachella, but I want to go to all, like, the VIP lounges and just do, like, the outer ring of Coachella, not the actual concert itself, because it's so hot in Indio, California at that time of year. So that's probably as brave as I get.
And how accessible is Coachella to get to when it comes to, like, if you have to rent a place? How far are you normally driving?
Oh, it's not bad, honestly. I mean, you can rough it and do the camping. They do offer camping grounds, or you can do Airbnb, hotels. They are all within the Palm Springs range, so you're not going to be far at all, which is good. I mean, the worst thing is going to be traffic, so it may take you an hour to get back and forth.
Yeah,
but you're really not that far in terms of, like, distance.
Nice.
Hey, real quick, Kristyn, I took your advice and watched You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
Really? That's
know
the
you
Adam
would.
Sandler one, right? With his 2 actual daughters.
Mark my words. If Adam Sandler's daughter, the star of this, his youngest daughter, continues to act, Sonny, 20 years, she'll have an Academy Award.
Really?
She's so good in this.
So
She's
charming.
very good.
We talk so much about Nepo babies and, the fact that nepotism is, like, ringing strong right now in Hollywood. But when someone actually has talent and shows off that talent, and it's one of those, because Adam's like, hey, this is my movie, but my daughter's starring. My wife has a small role. My other daughter has a role. And you're like, you roll your eyes when you think about that. But this movie is so charming. I think you'll really enjoy it.
It's great.
And where you stream it?
Netflix.
Nice. Yeah. All right, I'll watch this.
Yeah. And anyone who did like the bar and bat mitzvah circuit, I think this will ring true for a lot of people. I don't know. It was really, the bar mitzvah circuit was very strong in my town when I was in 7th grade. So
we moved from Stillwater to Henry Sibley over in Mendota Heights, which is like a big Jewish community, the year after bat and bar mitzvahs. So all I did was hear about how amazing, how people had these blow up guitars and stuff from it. And I was so jealous.
Like Coke and Pepsi and the DJs. And like we had like 2 schools in our town. And so if you got invited to a bar mitzvah like across town, that was such a big deal. Or you might date someone across town. I loved it. It was a big social scene in 7th grade.
Of course. And then when my friends' parents owned a catering company, so I would help them in the summer. And we always would end up doing bat mitzvahs. And it was the best party you can go to. Like, it was way more fun than a wedding because it was the whole vibe was party. Mm-hmm. Not like, it was just like the whole point. They hired people to like pump up the party. Literally, like they hired implants to just dance. Like, oh, hey, your job is to, like, keep the party going. And I was like, I would do that job, but nobody offered.
Party motivator. That's what they're called. Party
motivator.
And they bring in dancers and everything. It's as expensive as a wedding, honestly, for a lot of these people, especially here in Beverly Hills.
Oh. And then if you watch any of my Sweet 16, like, that's exactly
those are all so ridiculous. Like,
quinceañeras, like, those are really big out here in California, too.
Quinceañeras, that's the one where they do the glittery sneaker, right? With the elaborate dress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Elaborate dress, yeah. And 15, obviously, instead of 16. But it's wild. I mean, and you see them, like, they are in basically wedding dresses. They're so beautiful.
I had a family that lived across the street from me in my first house in Richfield who held a quinceañera one night. Yeah. And it was 10:45. Finally, my ex-fiance said, you got to go over there and tell him to be quiet. Yeah, no problem. I walked over. I was like, hey, guys, can you turn it down? 45 minutes later, I come back to the house half in the bag. I was like, they're going to turn it down pretty quick. Did you know the guy with the oversized guitars?
And wait, how old was Kinley at the time?
She was like, I don't know, 1.5, 2.
So she was sleepy.
Oh, totally sleepy.
Your ex was sitting at home going, where is that?
When the hell are they going to turn down the mariachi music? Yeah, not at all. Nope. I had the best time of my life. It was so much fun.
Good food?
I was like, that's the wonderful thing. Like, the Latino family will be like, come on in, get some food, get a drink. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll include you in the party.
I can, like, feel the irateness coming from my own body, just projecting it.
And you're not, even if you were, like, to go over there and be like, hey, you guys, I need you to turn, like, you don't want to be that guy.
No,
like,
of course not. No.
Just, can I have a beer? Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Then somebody hands you a baby with pierced ears, and next thing you know, you're just dancing along.
Yep.
And a plate of food, I'm telling you, the food.
Yep.
Number one.
Mm-hmm. Kristyn, you've been amazing, as always. We appreciate the report. Anything we need to watch this week at all?
Nothing. No, I'll come up with a list for you guys and just see if there's anything premiering. The official TV season premiere week is September 25th.
Okay.
So just to keep that on your radar. So it's going to be probably pretty light the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be a lot of unscripted over the fall, unfortunately.
Are you going to go to the Eras Tour movie?
I think so. I obviously didn't go to the concert, but I think it's going to be really fun. And listen, look, Taylor is not breaking records, and hey, she went to the studios. They didn't want to deal with distribution. She went to right to AMC, cut out the middleman, and guess what? She's going to earn another huge paycheck.
Cash money. It's like looking in a mirror whenever we talk about her.
Do it your way. And that's the thing. I think that's what's going to come out of this strike is that people are going to start cutting out the studios.
I love it.
I do too.
All right, Kristyn, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you later.
We'll be back with Chris Egert. He's the post-fair, so we're going to see if he's
still out there.
No, we finally got him back in. He's not like Burning Man. He didn't have to walk 6 miles to come back. All right, we'll be back on the Tom Barnard Podcast.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
K&L Surplus and Ammo is your one-stop shop for all firearms-related products and is the preferred choice among enthusiasts for over 25 years. Why? K&L Surplus and Ammo offers one of the widest selections of firearms in the region. The big box stores say they have a big selection, but that usually means they have a lot of inventory, not a wide selection of different types of firearms. K&L has a broad selection of different calibers. K&L Surplus and Ammo also offers some of the best prices in the region. You might find a good sale now and again at a big box store, but K&L always has great pricing. And unlike a lot of other stores, K&L always includes tax in the listed price. K&L Surplus and Ammo is veteran-owned and offers first responder and veteran discounts. K&L is also committed to safety and a licensed FFL retailer. Find out for yourself why K&L Surplus and Ammo has been the choice of gun owners for over 25 years. Go to klgunstore.com.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says riding a bus to school is 13 times safer than riding in a passenger vehicle and 10 times safer than walking to school. The reality of school bus safety is that more children are hurt outside the bus than inside as passengers. Most of the children who lose their lives in bus-related crashes are pedestrians, 4 to 7 years old, who are hit by the bus or by motorists illegally passing a stopped school bus. Please be patient and use extra caution when driving near children and school buses. And never pass a bus when the arm is down and red lights are flashing. The children inside and their parents are counting on us. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in an accident, but if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to a lawyer.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about my slippers, the Giza sheets, MyPillow 2.0 and more. Great news! The MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price $79.98. And for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Good morning, Chris Egert.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. Hey, fair guy. Is it nice?
I haven't seen your actual faces in like 2 weeks. It's crazy.
We've seen you everywhere. I feel like I can't turn on the internet or TV without seeing you Zumba across my screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Tevin, by the way.
They say it's nice to see your face and officially meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you,
have you guys not met before?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
I don't think we've been on at the same time, have we?
No, usually I'm on after you, so I miss out.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your favorite thing you ate at the fair, Chris? Give us the rundown.
I was such a fat slob at the fair this year. Like, I know I put on at least 4 inches on my gut. I don't even know. Like, it's all blurred together because we were out there for, 9 shows?
That's
and
impressive.
so over the course of the almost couple weeks. And I think we ate like at least 5 things every day. And that's not even counting the bonus food that I would eat on my way in. I would say though that I really like the O'Gara's had these dill grilled cheese bite things that were amazing.
Yeah.
Because everyone was trying to do the dill because of the dill pickle pizza last year was like such a overwhelming success that everyone was like coming up with pickle things. And I thought it was a little bit overdone, but those O'Gara's things were like just perfect, like grilled cheese. Like it was kind of like if you took a cheese curd and a grilled cheese with a little bit of pickle flavor and combined it. It was pretty damn good.
I like that a lot. I do the freeze dry dill in my fridge, and I like to sprinkle it on random things. And I never thought about doing it on grilled cheese, but why the heck not?
For sure. Like it seems like somebody should have done it a long time ago.
I'm amazed at how big dill is right now.
I know, it's a real big deal.
Hang on a second. We gotta find where. Okay, there we go.
Did you hear about Tom talking about dildos?
Oh, that's right.
No, I did actually.
Because we might have some audio of that.
Let's see.
Oh wait, maybe we should say it for after Chris.
Or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, wait. Sorry, play that again.
You gotta bring your dildo or whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll play. We got a little bit of Tom Barnard saying dildo. We'll play that at 8:50 this
Good
morning.
call.
Yeah.
It was with Kristyn, right?
It was with Kristyn.
Yep.
It was so funny.
And
He
she
wanted
was like,
to die.
What? You could tell she was like, wait, what just happened? Like she was.
It was like your dad said dildo to you. Like that's how we all felt. Because Tom does not put out the vibe that he's trying to talk about anybody's dildos. And he looked mortified.
Oh my! You see like the moment on his face where he realized what he just said, and he's like, "Oh wait, no! I mean, like, you can't walk yourself back."
So
from
beautiful.
Yeah, it was great about it.
For usually being the idiot, it was nice to have somebody else for a half second take that role. Chris, do you have the day off today because of all the fair stuff?
We have Minnesota Live off today, but I was already in it and did the news, and then came back home. So, yeah.
Well, I have a question. Because I think about you sometimes when I just don't want to come into work. Do you have that option? Like, who fills in for you?
No.
Like, what?
I mean, we always have the option to like call out sick or whatever. But when when you're doing this shift, it's just like morning radio. Like, if you call out sick, it's
Speaking of sick, that
like
internet
a bunch of other people because then they're gonna have to come in early. And what's that?
No, your internet is all over the place, man. And also, you have a smoke alarm going off in the background right now. What is going on?
I think
everything froze.
I think it's ours, maybe.
Yeah. In fact, actually, I think I'm the
too.
only one who's not frozen. Oh, there you go.
I'm not frozen. I just wasn't moving. Oh no, we lost Chris Egert.
The show is just going completely off the rails.
Well, Chris, that was a great report. Brought to you by.
Yeah, no. Let's see. We'll go ahead and shut. Chris, if you can still hear us, why don't you go ahead and shut down and then jump back on? Of course, now I tell him that, and I can see his internet is starting to work again. But let's just have you reboot.
I lost track of what we were even talking about.
Talking about Dill.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and yeah, and him calling in sick to.
Oh, yeah. Because I thought to myself the other day, like, do they have a stand-in just ready to read the news? Because you guys, it's not like radio where, like, if we're missing one of you guys, we could probably be fine. And also, if we wanted to call somebody in, like, people have to put on makeup and have, like, outfits and be ready, like, look nice.
Right. And especially, like, you can't do any, like, last minute. Like, it's not like you're going to your restaurant, like, oh, yeah, like, let me just call out 15 minutes because I don't want to go in. Like you're saying, there's a whole production crew that... What are you laughing at?
His name is Crappy Internet Central. You know, Chris kills it in the name department. He really does. He's the only one who plays the game of fun titles.
Is he back? I can't tell. It looks like he's taking a second.
Yeah.
Can't hear him.
Oh, I'm going to miss you, Chris.
God damn it.
Well...
What? I'm here. I'm here. Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Kind of.
What
yeah. Okay. All right.
Are you of Minnesota Live tomorrow? Give me a
Why
hot.
is this happening? I pay my internet bill. This shouldn't be happening.
Wow, they're saying otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Are you at Minnesota Live tomorrow? Give me a thumbs up if you're at Minnesota Live tomorrow. All right, cool. We'll try again when we're at the studio. You know what? You did a really good job, Chris. You've also were our man on the fair. You did a great. Don't shake your head. Look at you. Positivity. We love you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Stop. No, Chris. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Chris is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. Poor guy. I know how frustrated that is. But yeah, what job did you feel, because you've had quite a few jobs, what job, Tevin, do you feel like you could call in and there was no consequences?
Pretty much, I should say all of them. When I worked at Walzer, that was one where like, it was like, yeah, there's so many people working and nobody really paid attention. Where like people would leave and go home and for all day and then come back and it would be like they'd never even left. They'd just assume you're.
Because that's the kind of job too. If you're not working, you're not making. Because did you get a base pay too? Or
Yeah, you get like a base pay, but yeah, if you're not selling a car, you're not getting paid. And then like people would be like either like, oh, I'm on a test drive, and they just go home and take a nap and come back later.
Oh, I would love that. Like, because my brother works in sales and he doesn't take advantage of it because he's like really does like making money.
Right.
But he'll randomly be like, go visit, you know, like a client or whatever, and he'll like swoop by and let the dog out, and I'm like, I would totally take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, there's 100%. Like if I forgot like I needed to go to such and such store, but it closed before I get off work. Like let me just quick run over 20 minutes and say I'm on lunch and call it a day.
Yeah, I'd be terrible. I'd be really bad at that. All right, I really wanted to talk to you guys about dad rock and what we're considering dad rock in this problem. Here's the thing. People have strong feelings about these bands. You have your mindset of like what dad rock is, right? Like, and what was your classic band thing of like dad rock?
Dad rock? I don't even know where I would.
Because like people lean towards like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden, even Pearl Jam and Nirvana. Well, now the internet is claiming, because we have a bunch of youngins busting out, My Chemical Romance in Linkin Park. Is that dad rock now?
Yeah, I would say yeah, because that's what today's dads listened to when they were kids, so that would technically make it dad rock, right?
Right. And so another one that's coming in is System of a Down, Avenged Sevenfold, 3 Days Grace, Deftones, Muse, Slipknot, Bullet for My Valentine, Skillet, Fall Out Boy, and Sum 41. All has been classified as dad rock. And people are walking around pretty butthurt about it.
Well, as a guy who is a dad and grew up with rock, all of those bands constitute, and I was thinking about, was dad rock more fun back in the day when it was Zeppelin and Sabbath, or is it more fun now?
Well, like we always put everything on a pedestal, and the idea of like classic rock, even the title. Like Sum 41 being classic rock sounds insane to me.
Oh, the first time I heard Nirvana on KQ, I almost drove up the goddamn road.
Isn't it? But like,
yeah.
It's technically classified as it. And like, there are some ZZ Top songs where I go, this is absolute shit. Like, what are we listening to? Like Pearl Necklace, I don't understand how that is a song that is played on the radio.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs, like especially like, because they used to hide all the innuendos and stuff back in the day. So now when you listen to it as an adult, you're like, oh, that's what I was singing along to as a little kid. Whereas now it's more in your face. It's not.
Yeah, something about, I think that like the only line that I want to draw is Sum 41, and like Blink 182 being classic rock ever just does not seem okay.
Because it feels more of like the punk rock, like is a different genre. It's like, what's the Mr. Brightside?
The Killers?
The Killers, like that. Like I wouldn't consider them a classic rock, but they can
like
probably
someday
get lumped
they
into,
will, right?
Get lumped into that as well.
Well, if you take into consideration Cars can't be considered classic until 20 years. Any music that came out over 20 years should be considered classic.
Oh, God.
Then we start going down a terrible rabbit hole, because now we're looking at things that were born in 2003.
Aqua Barbie, the Barbie song.
That's 25
Classic
years.
rock,
Yeah.
baby.
I mean, I just went and saw Incubus, and they are doing. Oh, what? Well, I just saw one of my favorite ska bands, Less Than Jake. They played their 25-year anniversary of Hello Rockview. Incubus, I saw on the Make Yourself tour. That was 25 years.
Are they making new music on top of it?
A little bit, not as much as they used to.
Okay.
Incubus used to crank out a record like once every 2-3 years, and now it's more along the lines of every 5 to 6.
And are you listening to those records in whole?
Once or twice.
Okay.
Just to see if it's worth anything. But, musically, we stopped growing around the age of 19. Whatever music that we listen to when we're between the ages of like 13 and 19, that's typically the music that we will listen to until the day we die. Very seldom do we bring on, and I treat music like friends. I have no room for new ones.
Really?
I'm done. No, we're done. I have enough.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I want to know what the newest,
You want your head's
latest,
on a
greatest.
pivot.
Like, I'm always listening to music. Yeah, like switching genres and stuff like that. I went through a weird, got into jazz music phase. Like, I would just
Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to listen to jazz, and also on top of it, nobody wants to get in your car while you're listening to jazz.
No. Okay, not in my car, but like if I was cooking at night, play some jazz music. It's soothing. It's relaxing. Yeah.
We've done a lot of classical covers. That's our big thing lately at our house. Because we want music on, but we don't want words. But here's the problem with classical covers. You'll be sitting there the whole song going, what song is this? Wait, I know this song. And it's like something like all of a sudden you'll go, I know it. And you'll find yourself obsessed. You can't even enjoy your life because it's like, oh, God damn it. That was a Billie Eilish song. You'll think about it like a week later.
Just like wake up in the middle of the night in a
With
cold
like
sweat.
cold
Yeah.
sweat. Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting that the transition that we have to take to dad rock mode, I think is a rough realization to look in the mirror. I don't know if you ever consider yourself old. Even like 90-year-olds, you always hear they're like, I'm still young. You're like, you don't ever feel old.
No, until like you're scrolling through like Instagram one day and they're like, this Ice Cube song came out 30 years ago.
I hate that shit.
Oh, you're like, because still like when I say 30 years ago, I still think like, oh, the 70s type of thing. And it's like, oh, no, that was like the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
We're old now.
Well, a lot of us, especially for people in our 40s, I didn't hear Rush 2112 until I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
That album had been out for 30-some years or whatever it's
same.
been. Yeah,
Well,
so...
I grew up with my mom, and she never listened to classic rock. So when I got the job at KQ, it was like all new music to me. I was like, what is this? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's we had Ray Eric and Wally and Lisa. I mean, they had it all. They know everything about everything. And I was like taking notes. I had no idea who these people were, what these songs were. I'm like writing everything down. I would like write like how long, the intros were and things like that. Cause I was like, it was all new to me. I had no idea.
And a lot of the times the people that are in radio have no idea what it's a job to them and they don't care about the genre. Like I had an old program director that one time we had brought up the fact that Dave Mustaine from Megadeth was in Metallica. And he came into the studio and said, what are you talking about? Dave Mustaine was never in Metallica. We all looked at each other and thought, you're the guy running the rock station? You
Isn't
didn't
that
know that Dave
funny?
Mustaine was in Metallica? He's never been in Metallica. I said, he was the original guitar player. Look it up. What are you talking about? The fact that these people are holding these positions but know nothing of the genre blows me away.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I first found out that radio people, they don't necessarily are the biggest fans of whatever genre. Like it's just a job, like you're saying. And it's like, yeah, they don't even listen to the music. They take the headphones off.
Yeah, yeah.
I would
They're
have
just
blown
waiting
my
to talk.
mind as a teenager because I was like convinced everyone at KDWB loved
Oh,
that
yeah.
music.
No, you think Tom Bernard is going to REO Speedwagon? That's not happening.
He's not going to any concert in his defense. All right, you guys, don't click on the link, but this Tennessee woman, she beat the Guinness World Book record for longest mullet. How long are we talking about? What's your guess?
The longest mullet, I'm
Yeah.
going to say 6 feet.
So, I'll go a little bit higher. I'll say 9.5 feet.
You guys, when you overguess, you make it seem less important. So this is offensive. It's 5 feet 8 inches.
Oh, that's still not bad. I mean,
It's
that's
like a little taller than me.
That's
I'm
as tall as
5'10".
I am.
Yeah.
And
You're the size of the mullet.
Yeah.
That's wild.
where do they start
Great question.
like measuring the mullet? Is it from the scalp?
I don't know. That's a great question. Tennessee woman who hasn't cut her hair on the back of her head since 1990 earns a Guinness World Record for longest competitive mullet. Tammy Manis earned the female version of the mullet length record when the party in the back part of her hair was measured at 5 feet 8 inches. I'm not sure because she does have it fluffed up quite a bit.
Well, I imagine it has to be where the skull starts to go downward. That's where you start to measure the top.
Skull.
Yeah.
You think that's? I would think you'd measure.
Yeah, from like the end, like the top, the back, right in the back where it starts to go down.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Like
it's
the top of your head.
Yeah. It's like the same way most dudes will measure their penis. They start way behind the balls and go 4 inches past the tip, and that's how you know that's an accurate measurement.
There's a video of her.
And she looks just like you think she would.
Yep. She definitely looks like you think she would. She's also spinning in a field with her mullet, and it's exactly what I expect in my Guinness Book record holders videos.
Rudy, did you ever rock a mullet?
I did.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, I had the most glorious rat tail in 6th grade that eventually just, it ended up, what do you want to, segueing into a mullet. Because I just had the little rat tail that came down.
A little mullet Rudy.
And
That is
then,
awesome.
but then eventually that turned into a mohawk, and that turned into me, doing all sorts of crazy dye jobs with my hair. And
I had a kid in front of me that had a little rat tail, and I would sit there in class, and I just imagined cutting it off constantly because it was just this little like pinky size, but like longer, like it was just this thing. And I just remember being like, just cut it off. Just cut it off. It's hard to imagine you with a mullet.
Yeah, I tried doing one 2 years ago. Lasted about 3 months.
Yeah. It's not as fun when you're just trying to live your life, I feel like, with an ironic hair.
No. Like, did you ever have an ironic hairstyle?
No.
Like, I had an afro when I was in high school and cornrows, but that was about as weird with my hair as I got.
Your hair, does it get big? Like, can you get it pretty big?
Oh, it was huge. Like, I forget what the number was. So, Alicia Lewis that's on, like, I think she's on KARE 11.
KARE 11, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I went to high school with her, and she was 2 years older than me. But anyway, we were in band and both drummers, and we fit, I think it was 27, we were bored and fit 27 pencils in my afro that you couldn't see. It was huge. It was massive.
That's like super fun and also looks really good on women. And like, I think it looks okay on men, but I feel like you would have to have a conversation. You'd have to have a conversation constantly about it.
Oh yeah, like I had to sit in school made me sit in the back of the classroom because it was like a distraction. People couldn't sit in front of, or like see around me. Constantly people like trying to touch my hair. And like my middle school principal she made me cut my hair because it was too distracting to the other kids. So I had to go home and shave it off.
I have no problem with whatever you want to rock, but I personally can't have the same conversation 40,000 times. Like that shit drives me insane. Like I remember at my own graduation party, like halfway through like high school graduation party being like, I need to be done. Like I need to be done.
Right. Can I just make one general announcement to everybody? Say thank you.
Everyone at the taco bar, listen up. I'm not sure what I'm going into as a major. I'm going to UMD. Yes, I'm excited. Thank you for the money.
Yep.
Now let me eat in peace. Yeah, I definitely. It's weird to think about you with an afro. I bet it'd be kind of cute.
Oh, it was awesome. It was the greatest thing ever. I would because I saw Little Bow Wow. I had a CD of his, and in the cover he had cornrows.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, that's what I want to do. And she's like, well, you got to have an afro so you can braid it, and the rest was history.
And then, like, did your mom know how to braid it?
No. So we went to some random beauty shop. This lady was running out of her house here in Minnesota.
Your mom's white, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And my mom then watched YouTube videos and learned how to braid my hair. So like
That's
once every other week, she would sit down and braid my hair.
There is this TikTok lady I follow who has adopted. I think she adopted. Or yeah. Anyway, she's white. She has a black kid. And she did all this research to learn all this stuff. And like, she always has people comment and ask, you know, these things to learn more and to know how to do that in the house. And it's like the most beautiful thing is because that's a lot to learn.
And it took it'd be like a 3-hour process of me just sitting on the ground and her, braiding my hair. And she even learned how to do designs. Like one day, I got, my mom was the best.
Your mom is the best. Oh my God, she's not dead. No. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. What's your mom's name?
Jenny.
Jenny. That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
All right. I do have to ask you guys about this. You know how they always talk about opposites attracting? How often do you find that in your own relationships that you go opposites attract?
Never.
Never?
I would say 100%. Yeah.
No.
You're same as never?
No, I would say they do attract. Yes.
Oh, you're saying,
I
okay,
agree.
so you guys are on opposite sides of this.
No.
Okay. In my own relationship, me and Justin are pretty opposite.
Right.
So I always go, I don't know, but like they do on this study fall towards Rudy. They say that opposites actually often are not, and that they say that it's just a myth. And at the end, people really want people that have the exact alignments as their own.
Absolutely, yeah, because one person's clean, one person's messy. Guess who's always goddamn screaming at the person who's messy about cleaning up their shit all the time, and after 10 years of doing that, finally you go, I'm out. I can't do this. I've asked you how many times, and they go, no, opposites attract. You guys are supposed to be in love. No. Pick up your goddamn towels, and then I will definitely love you the way you need to be loved. But until then,
Jesus. Sounds like it's coming from experience.
Right?
That was one of the big things that my ex and I broke up over, is the fact that she was incredibly messy and still is to this day.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not Danny goddamn Tanner, but I definitely keep a nice, tidy house.
Yeah.
And I just, after a while, you go, I don't know what else to do. We've tried everything. We've tried doing it where, I'll clean a little bit during the day, and then you clean big on the weekends, and then that doesn't work. And you try a million different things, and finally it just all crumbles apart. Unless you really love someone and are okay in yourself to be able to be selfless and give parts of you to that person and realize that it's just a little tiny thing, that they're messy or that they have bad grammar or they're a bad driver, you are looking past those things because you love that person so much. If you don't have that, you got 7 to 10 years, have the time of your life, and then move on and go find other people.
Dang, Lang, preach. Okay, they analyzed 22 different traits, and they did a follow-up that looked at 80,000 couples and more than 130 traits, everything from religion and core values to person's drinking habit. Overall, they found couples that have similar habits and views on more than 80% of stuff and substantially different views on just 3%. Things we're most likely to have in common include our political views, religious views, education level, and how much each person drinks and smokes, and even the number of sexual partners you've had. The interesting part, they did find that extroverts don't necessarily go for extroverts. That's my relationship. But they're no more likely to go for introverts either. It's a coin flip. Overall, though, they found that opposites attract is definitely overrated.
Okay.
So Rudy is like,
I'm going to change my mind, but...
you don't have to.
But
is
like
your
not
relationship based on some opposites then?
Yeah, but not like, I guess when I think of opposite, I think more of like introverts and extroverts.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily, like I think if you're extremely religious, obviously you're not going to go marry somebody that's not very religious. So I think, that makes sense. But I think the introverts, extroverts, I could see those flipping in. Like me, I'm very calm, and my girlfriend is like a over planner for everything. I'm like, I'll just wing it and see what happens.
You kind of go along with it.
And so I'm like, you just make the plans. I'm just here for a good time. Like, so I think that's more of like the opposites attracting.
Justin can literally, like, during the pandemic, he said many times this exact phrase, which makes me want to punch him. Yeah, it kind of just feels like a normal day to me.
Yeah.
What the actual hell, sir? Like, I am dying inside. I miss everybody. And he's like, meh. Like, and he's not, people always confuse introverts with, like, he doesn't hate social situations. He could take it or leave it. It's like going on the boat cruise thing.
Yeah.
If I would have said last second, hey, they said you can't go, he'd go, okay. And he'd like walk around the yard and have a grand old time.
Yeah.
Like me, I rely on my social stuff. I love my social stuff. I have like feelings towards going or not going. And so like that's where me and Justin have opposites. But when it comes to the cleaning though, Rudy, I think you're on to something. You can only be the bearer of things and me and my husband, we always like switch up. Like I'm obsessed with food stuff and like keeping kitchen clean and not like I don't want anything gross in the fridge, and like the sink always has to be clean before we go to bed and things like that. Justin's obsessed with vacuuming.
Sure.
And like that's our things. But if I think we didn't have our spots, like if we wouldn't like find that in, that'd be a huge argument all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be exhausting.
Yeah. There's two things about my girlfriend that I have no problem looking past because we get along so well. Number one, she's late for everything. Everything. I'm not.
Justin runs late and drives me nuts.
I hate.
Yeah.
That's
But
one of my
not
biggest
that late.
pet
Justin's like a couple minutes late, and it still drives me crazy because me and Gogo will be in the car waiting for him.
Yeah.
But we're like, I am also neurotically early, so.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: if she knows it's important, she'll be there.
Oh, okay.
You know. So, hey, listen, I am up against the clock. I have to get to the airport. I need a ride. Can you please give me a ride? I need to be there by 10:15. I don't get off the station until 10. Can you pick me up right at 10? She's outside at 9:50.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about.
Yeah.
But when I say, hey, we're gonna go take a walk around Lake Harriet. Why don't you meet me there at 1? And she says, yeah, no problem. And it's 11:30 and it's still 1:20 and I'm sitting on a park bench going, where the hell is this bitch?
Oh, it would drive me nuts. And the casualness of those people. But like, it must be nice to not have constant anxiety about being at the places on time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And the other thing is she might be one of the funniest people I know, hands down. In the car when we're driving places, hilarious. We go to a green room of a comedy club, she clams up. And I'm like, you need to show people how funny you really are. I think she gets nervous around other funny people and then doesn't want to make us sound stupid in front of them. So she just kind of lays back a little bit and lets the conversation happen. And then if somebody asks her something, she'll jump in. But there's times we'll start driving home from a gig and she'll go, you know what would have been funny right there? And I'm like, why didn't you say that right there? That's hilarious.
You're like, I needed you in that moment.
Yes, so many times. There's so many times I'll do a new joke and I'll get off stage and she'll go, you know what would be better if you did it like this. And then I'll go do it her way and it kills. I'm like, you're funny. You should be funny in front of people. Although it does prove that she has learned her lesson to keep your mouth shut. You speak when spoken to, girl.
that big mouth of yours. All right, we'll be back here on the Tom Barnard Morning Show podcast.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
The MNFatLoss.com program has been helping me reach my goals all summer. I feel fantastic and the weight loss hasn't been hard. I don't feel hungry, I have a great deal of energy, and I'm getting closer to my ultimate fat loss goal. The MN Fat Loss team really has discovered the secret to weight loss. I lost about a pound of fat every day. I did the first 60 days in the maintenance program, and now I went back to the weight loss program to get to my ultimate goal. It's great to have these kind of results in such a short amount of time. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, that's about a pound of fat every day. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says riding a bus to school is 13 times safer than riding in a passenger vehicle and 10 times safer than walking to school. The reality of school bus safety is that more children are hurt outside the bus than inside as passengers. Most of the children who lose their lives in bus-related crashes are pedestrians, 4 to 7 years old, who are hit by the bus or by motorists illegally passing a stopped school bus. Please be patient and use extra caution when driving near children and school buses. And never pass a bus when the arm is down and red lights are flashing. The children inside and their parents are counting on us. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in an accident, but if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to a lawyer.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda.
Your family will love Minnesota-made Killebrew old-fashioned root beer and cream soda. Then cheer on the fun. Take it from me, Ken Herbeck. Killebrew. It's how memories are created and legends are made.
There we go.
Oh.
852, Tom Bernard Podcast. There we go.
Brittany's just cleaning out the refrigerator, I guess.
That's-
Don't worry about us doing a live show,
No,
Brittany.
it's totally fine. That's why.
We're definitely not trying to entertain.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom's going to be out for the remainder of the week. He'll be back on Monday. Outside, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. What now?
I thought you were hosting, Tevin.
Well, I was just distracted by the loud clanking that's going on as you're
I'm making coffee in the back.
through.
So everyone said that the live stream was down. If you've messaged in, it says that it's working now,
Yeah.
Steve. So
Yeah, Mike Weber was on it. He, So thank you very much for the people who dropped in a couple of lines. Let
Mike
us know.
Weber is just freaking a god.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you talked about the most dangerous Minnesota cities.
Yeah, well, I always, since I live downtown, and so I hear people all the time like, Minneapolis is so dangerous downtown. And so I felt vindicated when I saw the list of the most dangerous cities, and Minneapolis wasn't number one.
What?
Yeah, hold on, let me pull this up quick here.
If this has any, remember last week we were talking about how being from a small town felt less safe than walking downtown Minneapolis?
Yeah.
I wonder if what I'm saying is true.
Yeah, I wonder too. Yeah, we just had this talk.
So we'll go top 10, starting at 10. Brooklyn Park was 10. Kind of makes sense. Virginia, Minnesota, out in the middle of nowhere.
But side note, if you are from a small town, any of the suburbs are Minneapolis. So
Yeah, when you say Brooklyn Park, I think Minneapolis. There's a lot of that. I don't
see.
Yeah.
And I know you don't get it, but you are from a small town.
I'm from a small town, but I mean, living here for as long as I have, it's not Minneapolis. But I get what you're saying because it's
the
all
Twin
Minneapolis.
Cities.
But,
Yeah, like
okay.
it's still.
It's in the
looped
metro. Yeah.
Mankato at 8. St. Cloud was 7. St. Paul 6.
St. Cloud was 7. Yeah, St. Cloud.
Minneapolis was 5. So
Okay.
4 cities more
I
dangerous.
don't know why you're bragging right now. Minneapolis is 5th dangerous city. And
Let me have this moment.
Okay.
Roseville at 4.
See, again, Minneapolis.
Brainerd. Roseville's so far from Minneapolis.
I'm just telling you, my relatives will always be like, it's
yeah.
all Minneapolis.
That makes sense. Like all my relatives that don't live in Minnesota, they're like, oh, it's all Minneapolis.
Yeah,
like from the Mall of America to.
Yeah. Trust me, they see that first billboard at the 35W, 35E split. That's the city.
They're like Forest Lake?
Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Brainerd was 3. Waite Park. Does anybody know where that is?
Waite Park? I feel like
Is that Minneapolis too?
It's around the cities, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like super. That one seems like it's like right interweaved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one dangerous as well. Number 1 city. What do you think?
Waite
Brittany?
Park is St. Cloud. It's right next to St. Cloud.
Oh,
That's
is it?
what it is.
So
It's
not
like
Minneapolis.
what I've heard.
Yeah.
It's like right. It's like so is St. Cloud. It feels like.
Again, Waite Park, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
It's Minneapolis.
What's the number one? Well, have we
Number
said
1.
St. Paul yet?
No,
No, he
St. Paul
did.
was 6.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bemidji, number 1.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where my.
Don't go to Bemidji.
That's where my
Very
in-laws
dangerous.
just moved.
Yeah,
They
very-
lived in Shevlin and they moved to Bemidji this weekend.
There are almost 3,000 offenses committed every year. Looks like there was.
So it's a percentage of the
Oh
population.
yeah, it just goes based off of because there's probably more. There's definitely more crime in Minneapolis just because there's more people. But when you break it down, yeah, so like 471 assaults, 1 murder, 48 sexual assaults, 12 robberies, 5 kidnappings.
5 kidnappings went down in Bemidji.
249.
One of them was Rudy's that wasn't real.
Yeah, what's up, Fargo? Didn't
Yeah,
realize
right.
that. Yeah.
Are they weighted?
I don't know. What do you mean? Are they weighted?
Like, are we counting like somebody stealing a car the same as killing? Like, I want these to be weighted.
I mean, they're just I think looking at probably per capita numbers. It just says the
Like,
most dangerous in 2023.
Well, see, no, I hate these types of these stats because then when they say, you want to know what the most dangerous job in the world is? President of the United States. Because 20% of all presidents have been, okay, we
not
get
not
it.
true. Right. It's not true.
We get that the numbers say that if you are 1 in 4 is probably going to be killed. Fine, we get it. But it's the safest job compared to a guy who's an underwater welder.
You always use underwater welder. You always go back to that well.
Because it's a dangerous job. I always go to that
Is
ocean.
it though? Because you can't even start on fire. I'm just saying.
That is true. Right.
Well, if you did, luckily you're in the ocean.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who knows? Welding could be. You always do underwater welder. Like, well.
If you're tired of fearing for your life in Bemidji, Minnesota, move downtown Minneapolis. Much safer.
But I said this last week. Growing up, I felt much safer being on the streets of Minneapolis as compared to my small town in Hibbing, because everybody knows you, and everybody, if you got a beef with somebody and their friends drive by in their dumbass souped up truck, and they see you walking downtown, it's on.
Sometimes it feels a little lawless. I'm gonna say that too. Like when we're in small towns, like I love when we're in Bemidji and I love when we're in Shevlin. We have the best time ever. But, like, we shoot in places that we play Annie Oakley that you definitely, I didn't know it was legal to do that.
You play Annie Oakley?
Yeah.
You throw a pop can in the air and then blast it?
No, they have, like the actual.
Oh, you're talking about, like, the clay pigeon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have clay pigeon. Like, they have the actual devices. Or if the clay pigeon device goes down, there's always a guy who can throw it with the big, like, chuck it stick.
Yeah, they got the wand.
Yeah.
Well, I'm impressed, right? I didn't know you were from such like a hick town. Like that sounds like where I grew up.
No, that's Justin's family.
Oh, okay.
When we go back and visit. But I love playing that game because I love shooting. Like I love going to ranges.
So my dad, he now lives in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin, and so there was one Christmas. He is a gun enthusiast. Like he will order old rifles from the Civil War. Scott. And so he built a gun from scratch for me for Christmas one year, and I was like, Dad, what am I going to do with this?
That's terrifying. Like, I would never fire a gun from scratch.
And I mean, it works, so that's great. But anyway, he was like, well, it's raining outside, so we can't go outside, and she lives in the country, so we can't go like target practice with it. He's like, I was like, oh, that's no big deal. Like another day, he's like, well, here, let me knock the screen out of the window. And I was like, Dad, we don't need to set up a sniper perch in the house to shoot at targets outside.
Isn't that so funny?
It's a different way of life.
Yeah, Justin does not he is so from that mentality that like he's like, I think I'm gonna buy a blow dart or a blowgun for squirrels around our neighborhood. I go, the hell you are. We will not have squirrels running from our yard with like a dart sticking out of their neck. He's like, no. He's like, everybody hates red squirrels. I go, you don't know what they hate more? The guy with the blow dart. Like, I had to talk him out. Did he buy the blow dart? Yes. Has he used it on a squirrel? No. Like, I had to talk him out of using the blow dart casually on squirrels in our yard.
I don't want to like burst your bubble, but he's definitely, while you're not around, used the blow dart on squirrels.
I feel like because our neighborhood is so tight knit. I mean, Rudy's met Priscilla. That's our neighbor. She watches Go-Go. Our other neighbors, the Hellers, were really close. I feel like somebody would have given me a heads up if Justin's out there in his tighty whities using his blow dart in the morning before Go-Go gets up, or like with Go-Go in his arms.
Right.
He made a target in our unfinished basement to work on this blow dart stuff. And he's like, well, once I get to a certain point, I go, no. Like,
look at you squashing his dreams.
I don't care. Like, there are some things I go, listen. If we had like an extra bajillion dollars, we can buy some more land where we live, whatever. Then you can go ahead and blow dart all the squirrels you want. We live right next to people.
Yeah, that's why it's a blow dart and not like a BB gun or something that could like harm somebody.
You're taking Justin's side on this?
Only because I want to see him. Like I'm imagining him in like a full camo suit with his face painted, like
no,
crawling
he's
through the
that
yard.
casual about it. He'd literally be with his shirt off, walking out with his pajamas on, with his coffee, trying to blow dart these.
Justin,
little
live your
red
best
squirrels.
life. She's on radio every morning for 3 hours. Just do it while she's not around.
Fine, but then I get to keep the cat, and I'm scared to combine those two things, but that's where we're at in life.
Relationships are about compromise.
It really is. It's about opposites attract, right,
That's what I
Rudy?
heard.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is two very opposite opinions on blow darts that have attracted to each other.
This is true. I thought the story was insane because I don't even know how. I didn't want to go into detail about like knowing all the logistics, but just the headline. Listen. Teen accused of biting Necto employees' testicles after being denied entrance.
What's Necto?
Well, that's the part you're focusing on?
Yeah, that's not.
Well, I need to know what they're trying to get into.
From what I was
a
at a
nightclub.
club, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say it's like nectophiliac, and I'm like, it's fine to bite a guy in the balls, but
I love the minute details Rudy needs. How far is the cart? What's Necto? Before learning that a man bit off another man's testicles.
He didn't bite him off.
Yeah, well,
He attempted to.
Okay, but yeah, he didn't bite him off, right? It was just, from what I saw, he didn't get into the club. got into a fight, somehow grabbed and bit
His name
testicles.
is Gino, by the way. A teen was taken into custody in Ann Arbor Saturday after he reportedly bit a nightclub's employee's testicle. Gino, 19-year-old from Detroit, reportedly punched an Ecto employee in the face after he was denied entrance just before midnight. When the police placed the man in handcuffs, he reportedly resisted and caused injuries to the police officer's fingers. The police said 2 employees were bitten by the man, including a 20-year-old who was taken to the hospital for treatment. The employee reportedly told police the suspect grabbed his testicles and bit them. Like, there's a bending over process that, I can't get over in this.
And there's no amount of anger. Like, you know how angry you have to be to, I'm going to grab this man's testicles and bite them. You know how, that's a whole nother level of anger that I'm not getting to.
When I get so mad, I want to physically harm somebody, my mouth does not come into play as the weapon.
No, you're just like,
and I've watched Go-Go because sometimes she gets mad and she goes for us, and I'm like, yeah, like that's her tool right now.
Sure.
But like as an adult, that's your tool. You had to reach down and then bend in a very odd way to try to bite a man's testicles.
And the guy that got his testicles bitten, it's not like he just stood there and let it happen. Like, he's resisting.
He kind of did, though, didn't he?
Oh, no, don't bite me in the testicles. No, don't. Get your mouth out of there, you. Don't bite me in the testicles.
Don't get on your knees, sir.
Yeah, how dare you look me in the eyes while you do it.
Oh,
Stop that.
no.
Gross.
Pull my hair.
He's just holding his hair back as he's biting.
Oh, that is the zaniest. I mean, that just the whole act. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine the act of both manipulating your bodies to get to that position and it still try to feel like you're the dominator, like you're the alpha, grabbing and then bending down. It's so weird.
Yeah, the weirdest part is that he put butter and salt on it beforehand. I don't know why.
The marinade alone.
Yeah.
And that's so high calorie.
Well, it seems like this is a thing that you're either all in or you try once and never do again. Like, this is the first time he's ever done it. He'll never do it again. Or this is the 30th time since grade school, and this is his thing.
He's a serial biter.
Yeah.
I thought about you, Rudy, a couple times with the fair going on.
It's a weird story to say that with, but okay.
Because you reminded me, as you were saying, the first time or the last time. I remember of that game you played, something rich people do and something poor people do.
Oh, yeah, Rich Man, Poor Man, yeah.
Rich Man, Poor Man. And I thought of 2, but I can only remember 1 right now, and having cash.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, I got another. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
And then reusable cups. Like, if you see somebody, like poor man, rich man, use like we have a rich neighbor who used to always bring her mug in the car. But if you see also somebody using their mug in the car, but having cash on you and using cash, that's rich man, poor man as well.
But I feel like the rich man has no cash.
But if you're gonna go buy something, all of a sudden they're paying in cash, like they have cash on them.
Oh, and then poor man, meth dealer always has some cash in a shoebox. Sure, yeah, okay, that would make sense. Yeah, all right, not bad. Yeah.
Just wanted to include that because I thought of it the other day.
It's a little weird pivot from a ball biting story, but that's okay.
No, because something about you reenacting the ball biting goes, oh yeah, that's Rudy at his most Rudy form.
Rich man, poor man, biting balls. It's a rich man, he likes to get that. He pays for it. He likes to go down, bite a guy in the balls. A poor man is just trying to get into a club in Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's all he's trying to do.
He's just going for the chop.
It's his fetish.
I got another story that kind of blew my mind, and there is audio on this that I might have to have you play.
Sure.
The Norfolk police pull over a man with a bull riding shotgun. The visuals on this are insane. But around 10 a.m., the Norfolk Police Division responded to a call of a man driving eastbound with a Watusi bull in the passenger seat. If you get a look at this bull, it's insane. The officers received a call referencing a car driving into town that had a cow in it, said Police Captain Chad Riemann. They thought that it was going to be a calf or something small. That's something that would actually fit inside the vehicle. The vehicle was big enough, well, technically. So the guy had, souped up his car, and you can even see, poop down the back of the window. He had souped up the car to have this giant bull in his car.
Yeah, that's huge.
I don't think I've seen a bull this size, just period, in his passenger seat. And they ended up talking. They didn't even give him a ticket. That's where they're at. They said that the bull's name is Howdy Doody, and that the guy is very attached to him, and said that he believes that he can just come around in his car with him. And the wildest thing is there was no ticket. They just had this guy and Howdy Doody head back, and no one was hurt.
Well, and it's probably something that's like technically not illegal because they didn't think they'd ever find somebody dumb enough to turn their car into a cow transporter.
It is impressive. Is it not? I mean, that is an impressive
they
feat.
put the little gate. I just don't understand why you want to bring, like, where were you going? Did he take it, like, to the dog park or something? Like,
It's
why?
an emotional support bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Oh, I was like, that. I wouldn't be surprised in today's world.
I'll try to find the audio on that. Meantime, SKOR North, Judd Zulgad.
Hey, Judd.
What's up, everybody? How is it going?
Going
Some
well.
interesting stories. Did I join and was in the back room during a ball biting story?
Yeah,
Is that what I
you were in Ann Arbor this weekend, weren't you, Judd?
Oh, how'd you know? I'm a big Wolverines fan. You know that. Big Michigan fan. Big supporter.
Yeah, in a fight, Judd, do you think not only would you go for another man's balls, but you would think this is the time to pull out them chompers on said balls?
Boy, that is no. That would never occur to me.
And again,
Like, not in a million years.
Yeah, can we talk about the act of him having to get down to that level and how awkward that would be? Like, I wouldn't even know what he was going for.
No, well, yeah, because the guy that's like fighting him, or trying to kick him out, is like thinking like in his head, "We're fighting. We're gonna get punched. We're gonna.
Yeah.
Why are you not punching me? What are you? Oh my God.
Well, it's like when you hear these NFL linemen who, are recapping their decade in the NFL. They sit down for an interview and they talk about, oh no, when you're in that pile, all of a sudden you'll just feel a hand just go straight up your thigh and grab onto your balls and just twist.
Yep.
And that was commonplace. It happens quite often, does it not, Judd?
Yeah. Yes, that is, and that in itself is weird. But again, you're in a pile. Like, we're talking about biting, right?
Yeah.
Like the first one, the football example is weird. The other one, I don't even know how you would think of that.
Yeah.
And how fast do you have to be to get your mouth down there before that guy punches you in the ear?
That's what I'm saying. Logistically alone is blowing my mind. Like the amount you have to get your body, or like at a 90-degree bend.
Yeah, and they listed out all of the things that he was like charged with in the whole thing. Like, they need to add sexual assault to that. Like, I want him registered on some sort of website.
It's like he showed up and just like whoop 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 whoop, and he did the eye poke, and then he had the thing with the thing, and then he's like, that didn't work. So then
no more fighting for you.
Yeah.
If you're done fighting, you will never fight again.
Logistically, I would love to see a reenactment. I would love to see that.
Yeah,
maybe just some music, maybe some
documentary or
lighting,
something, yeah.
maybe some
That
wine.
makes one of us, Brittany.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, I'm good with that one. And, Judd, did you get a chance to watch Colorado take down TCU this weekend?
Yeah, I did. It was a fun game.
I am all on board the Shadur Sanders for Heisman, or one of the two. Who's the was it Hunter that plays both ways, 119
kid's
snaps?
Incredible.
Like, I'm all on board Colorado being national champions for the next 5 years. They're my squad now.
One game and that's it.
Yep.
And did I hear correctly that Deion Sanders had 2 toes amputated a week before the game? Because they said you can either have the toes amputated or we can save them, but the surgery is going to be a lot longer of a recovery. You're going to have to miss the game. And he said, cut the toes off. Did I hear?
I didn't hear that. I heard he
No?
had a knee problem, but I didn't know if it was. I didn't hear anything about toes.
I read something a few weeks back about his toes. I think you're right. Now here's my question: which toes? Do we know?
Yeah, if it's just a pinky toe, I mean, if anybody's seen The Big Lebowski, you can get a pinky toe, no problem. But if it's a big toe, that's a lot.
You can't lose
That's a balance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot of balance.
That's a
yeah.
balance issue right there. I do think the pinky toe is just hanging on for dear life, but once you start getting some of the meatier ones, like you're gonna walk weird.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm not sacrificing that.
Deion Sanders reveals his amputated toes for the first time, and this was so wait a minute, this was December 20th of 2022? Is it that long?
Just a year and a half ago.
Deion Sanders says he'll have surgery to avoid foot, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. I'll have to go through and look at this. All right. I mean, listen, it was the cabin. There was drunk people. Things were said. You start taking it into... Judd, is that a train I hear in the back?
Judd has a train. You guys don't remember this?
Yes.
I love that. I love the train.
We've talked about.
Uh-oh.
His internet was waiting so bad anyways. Yeah, you guys don't remember. We've heard Judd's train a bunch of times. I love it. It feels like I don't know where he lives, but like the imagery I have around it is pretty quaint.
Yeah. I don't know what is going on with the internet today. I don't even know if we're still up, but I'll take a look at it because now Judd's gone. We'll try to get him back on.
Not a problem.
All right, Brittany, what else is on your... Oh, I feel like since we were talking about the guy biting testicles, the natural transition will be the clown fetish story.
Oh, yeah, we have to talk about this. It's so good.
What was it, a professor? Where is
Yes.
Pull this up here.
Okay, so they talked about a college professor harassed students to quench his, quote, clown fetish, offering extra credit and cash. Yeah, the geography professor didn't hide his clown fetish or the fact that he sometimes indulged in his urges by recruiting students as subjects. He posted regularly about it on social media. Quote, I have a face paint fetish and convinced the cute girls in my class to let me paint their faces, he once wrote. His name was Joseph Tokash, held 2 jobs at 2 different colleges and was on the tenure track at a 3rd before student journalists at Nicholls State University in Louisiana exposed his behavior. He submitted his resignation the same day as the story was public. His interactions with students and open discussion of his fetish happened in both mainstream and tailored digital spaces. He popped into Facebook groups geared towards new students in niche forums on websites like Reddit. He posted videos on YouTube, and one Reddit post on a forum meant to highlight hard-to-believe stories. He posted several pictures of several women in white face paints that he had done. Over the years, students reported him to the campus police. All in all, this guy would ask his students for extra credit or to give them cash if he could do clown face on them. And for years he did this.
That, like...
Thing of nightmares.
But yeah, like that is...
How is that?
Beyond creepy. How he continues to get hired as a teacher.
Yeah. They've talked about, people have complained about him, but other women just took the cash. The 20-year-old me may have just taken the cash. So they talked about this. Sophie was a freshman at Kent State in 2017. So like this has gone on for a while, and she encountered Tokash on a Facebook group intended as a gathering place for new students. He had offered cash to anyone let him willing to paint their faces. She agreed, and he says that he insisted to come pick her up and take her to the building that housed the geography department. There, he would paint her face. Uneasy, Levin stopped responding. Tokash got angry, wouldn't give up, and he said that, which led her to, filing for the police report. Who knows how many, and like, what a weird thing to brag about on his own social media.
And like, he probably wouldn't have gotten fired if he just went and found random adults. You know what I mean? Like, if he was like, I'm into painting faces. Does anybody want?
Yeah, if it wasn't
when you
like
use your students and like you're giving extra credit,
using that as like a well for
like
your
you're using
predator
your power and position to do it.
You're right. Could he have gotten fired if he would have just done this on his side life?
I don't think so. Because like
I don't love that.
Don't
love that. Like, I know that's like freedom of speech and freedom of like do whatever you want. But like, what about if you just read your college professor was trolling the internet for people to paint clown faces on?
Let's just have a rule, okay?
Yeah.
For adults, when it comes to face paint, you either have to be a mime or your name has to be the Ultimate Warrior. One of the two. Other than that, you get nothing.
Or I just watched this stand-up comedian talk, and he was like, blackface, not great. We don't love that, right? We hate it. We can all agree that blackface is not the one. And everyone's like, yes. And he goes, what about those Marine commercials? What about them? And everyone's like, it's just so silly. Like, they seem to get away with it. So they also get a pass as well.
Mm-hmm. Judd, would you ever allow somebody to paint your face like a clown?
Oh, hell no. No. Adults should never. I'm totally with you. Adults should never paint their faces unless it's a profession.
Yeah, oh my God. And these dum-dums who go to the pro sports games all done up in the gear with the face paint on and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were getting down on the field today. Why? I don't understand it. Just show up in a sweatshirt that has the logo of your favorite team and drink a couple of beers and don't make it weird for everyone.
Right, especially because like the game's going to end and then now you going to the bar with your face painted, like you got to walk the streets now.
We used to be so obnoxious as promotion interns. We'd get paid to just drive around the event in the vehicle, like in the KQ vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd see somebody with a jersey on, and we would just start yelling their names as if they were them, like, Carter! Oh, sorry. Sorry, we just thought you were
Wrong
Jersey.
guy.
Wrong guy. Sorry,
I
it was
thought-
on the. Sorry, I thought you were.
Yeah, I thought you were an NFL wideout who led the league in receptions between the years of 1997 and 2000. Sorry, I didn't realize.
My bad.
Different Carter, yeah.
My bad.
Our rule on our show is this: you can wear jerseys with names on the back that are ironic, so like a really bad player. You can wear jerseys of like guys who were franchise legends, like Killebrew for the Twins.
Sure.
But you can't buy and wear a jersey with the name on the back of a person younger than you are.
Oh.
So I couldn't go get a Royce Lewis jersey because I'm 53 years old, and it would look sort of silly for me to to have a jersey of a guy who is half my age. So that's our rule. It's not no jerseys. It is the name on the back. So like if I went out and got a Justin Jefferson one, that's a violation.
Yeah.
Because I can't pretend, oh man, I love Justin Jefferson. I've got his jersey while I'm 53 years old.
It's weird. The other thing, if I can put an amendment onto these rules, I like the rules.
I do too.
The other one is if you buy a jersey of a player on your favorite team and that guy gets traded to a different team, you are not allowed to wear that jersey of that player again until he retires or he gets traded back to your original team. Because when Randy Moss, everybody and their brother had a Randy Moss jersey.
Yeah. Yep.
And when that guy went to New England and he went to the Raiders and he went to other teams, these guys were still showing up to the Vikings games in that Moss jersey. And I'm like, jerseys are $50. Get a current player, hang on to the Moss jersey, and then when he retires, break it out.
Yeah, and I'll add another amendment. I don't want to see your customized, like your own last name on the jersey. Like no personalized jerseys. I might, if you have a clever his and hers type situation where like I might give that a pass, but I'm still very anti-personalized jerseys.
All right.
Yep, yeah. Because when I was in third grade, my parents got me a Vikings jersey, and I got Tommy Kramer's name. So it was the number 9 and then Kramer. And I remember my parents like, well, don't you want your name on back? I'm like, no, I don't want my name on back. That's stupid. I don't want my name on back. I want the name of a guy I like, especially in third grade.
Right. So you mentioned Royce Lewis earlier. Obviously, the Twins put up 20 on Cleveland yesterday.
Yeah.
And as they trotted out, like, was it their catcher started throwing pitches at the end of the game? Does this mean the Twins are back?
Well, Cleveland put their catcher in the 6th, I think, which was really hard to watch. And then the Twins used Castro in the 9th. Are the Twins back? Who the hell knows? They are, they went 2 or 3 in Texas, which was good. As you just said, Tevin, they put up a 20 spot last night, but I can't figure this team out. Just as soon as I say, they're back, they'll lose 2 consecutive games to the team that they just scored 20 against last night.
Yeah, no, and I think it's ironic that Tom leaves town and they just explode offensively. put up 20 points. He's going to have to stay wherever he's at for a little bit longer.
We might. Who knows with the weather?
Yeah.
All right, we got more Tom Barnard Morning Show here next in just a second.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombarnardshow.com.
You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You've heard me recently speak about my slippers, the Giza sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news! The MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price $79.98. And for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more. Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on brand new Bennington pontoon from the Power Lodge, of course. Enjoy sunset from the water. That's one of the things I used to love so much. Entertain the kids and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud, of course. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. You've heard it before. Brittany wants to be a Klingon if we buy a pontoon. I am going to buy a pontoon. I will tell you the easiest way to have a bunch of old friends come out of the woodwork is to own a pickup truck or a pontoon. I became way more popular with my friends and family when I owned a pontoon. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lake in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey. Miller Marine in St. Cloud is the largest Bennington dealer in the entire world. Throttle therapy on land and water, powerlodge.com and millermarine.com. And please do tell them that Tommy sent you.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
It's 9:24, Tom Barnard Show, talking to SKOR North's Judd Zulgad. Also, earlier today, Judd, Bob Sansevere made a comment that blew my mind, Tevin's as well, where he said, Trevor Lawrence, better quarterback than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Now, he's not as experienced, but Trevor Lawrence is going to be really good. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is one of the best quarterbacks to come along in quite some time. So, yes, I think he's not wrong.
That's my quarterback on the fantasy, by the way.
Okay.
So,
well, here's the thing, and Tevin and I agree on this. I think he's good, just not right now. Not better than Kirk Cousins now, at this particular moment.
Right.
Like could be. Now, we're also not talking about Kirk Cousins not being able to win a playoff game or not getting deep into the playoffs. Fine, I get that. But when we talk about stats and ability, I think, even though I'm not a fan, I give credit where credit is due. Kirk Cousins is a much better quarterback than what people are giving him credit for.
Did the Netflix show influence you on this point of view, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because same.
It made me think he's much more likable than I originally thought he
and
was.
Stronger, like the amount of things he takes and pain he's in. Like after I watched that, I was like, I'm going to talk little less shit about him.
Right. Well, and like Kirk Cousins' problem is he isn't good enough to like make up for bad players on the team necessarily. Like he's not going to will you to victory like some of the top quarterbacks in the league will, but he's good enough to not make any mistakes and get you to get the job done for the most part.
So I think the Kirk Cousins is, and yes, so the Netflix thing definitely made him more likable.
Yeah.
But don't confuse likable with being really good. It's just he became more likable. Now, he is tough and he is good, but I think he's I think he's a fringe top 10 quarterback. I think he's around on his best day. I think he might be 9 or 10. On his worst day, he's still probably like 13 or 14. So he's not. Trevor Lawrence is going to be and emerged last year as probably a guy who's probably near 5 or 6 on that list.
Well,
Trevor Lawrence is really good. Brittany is going to be very happy.
I love you, Judd.
That he is on. And look, but here's the thing with Kirk. It's weird because it feels like there's a large faction of people in this town who think things like what I just said is Kirk slander. I like Kirk Cousins. Like Kirk Cousins has proven that he is, as Tevin said, he's a tough SOB and he's a good quarterback. Is he in that cliche term elite? No, he's not. He's not elite.
No, and it is weird because how you say like people will interpret that as Kirk slander. How polarizing everybody's views are. It's a lot like almost similar to like how LeBron James is almost a trigger word for half the people that are basketball fans. Where if you say Kirk Cousins is just okay, people will go off the rails and nope, here's everything great that he's ever done. And if you say he's great, you get the other side where they're like he's terrible. He should never even touch a football again in his life. It's so ridiculous. But yes, Judd, Kirk is like an average quarterback, I think.
Well, yeah, and the reason I brought him up to Bob earlier, Judd, was because we had a fantasy draft last night. Nobody picked him, not even as a backup. Nobody put him on the team at all.
That blew my mind.
That blew me away, where I thought, even as a backup, I don't know. I feel like
How big's the league?
It's only a 10-person league. So,
okay.
But yeah, still, right? You'd think he'd be at least somebody's backup. There's got to be one homer in the bunch who would put him on their team. But no, nothing.
And especially because he's going to put up numbers. You're throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson. If Addison's as good as everybody's saying he is looking in camp, like that's going to be another weapon. So he's going to just by default put up numbers.
Judd was so mortified with what you said. He just straight up left.
Yeah. Left again?
Yeah, so.
And then Rudy, because you're a Packer fan.
I am.
So how are you feeling about Jordan Love?
After watching him this preseason, so much of the anxiety has gone away.
Really?
Yeah, because he destroyed. He was great. Went for, what was it? I think he had like 160-some yards. I think he was like 22 for 28. Had 33 rushing attempts, like 100 yards rushing, and then no sacks. He looked good. And not only did he look good in the games, he looked good. He looks really good in practice.
Okay.
Really good. So much time on tape, looking, going over film, studying teams, studying the playbook. This guy really had an opportunity. They talk about watching the people that come up in front of you. And this is where that factor of having somebody that you can stand behind for, 5 to 10 years, watching how good they are. Which doesn't explain why it is that we suck at radio when we've been working with Tom Barnard for so long.
Right.
I don't get it. But when he has an opportunity to sit behind an Aaron Rodgers, who sat behind a Brett Favre, just by osmosis, you're going to pick up some of what those guys do. And even almost to a fault. But it's actually probably good in the long run. It's probably good that he has an opportunity to watch guys like that.
Yeah, it definitely, I think, for quarterbacks, it's all different depending on who you are, but I think it definitely is better to sit a little bit. I just hope that he's not great because I'm so tired of it going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and now if Jordan Love is another top tier. As a Vikings fan, I just want you guys to feel my pain a little bit and just have one down year with the quarterback.
Yeah, because I think we've had, in the last 53 years, we've had 8 starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, and the Vikings in the past 8 years have probably had 53
starting quarterbacks. So, yeah. Yeah, I think he looks good. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. Or he completely shits the bed and it goes belly up. One of the two, that's all. It's got to go either way.
I'm here for the latter. I hope they completely shits the bed. And
don't get me wrong. I don't think they're going to be a good team. I don't think they're going to do well this season.
Well, the defense is good, isn't it?
Not bad. Yeah. I don't think they're not going to be well oiled. If you give them 3 seasons with Jordan Love, that's where things are going to start to turn around.
Okay, assuming the Packers suck, will you then root for the Vikings at all?
No, of course not.
Okay.
No, that's like you remember
but he used to be a Vikings fan.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. True, it's not that I'm saying that they're transferable in general, but he has roots in Vikings, and he has loved ones who love Vikings.
Yeah, I still watch the games, and I enjoy when they do well because my friends are in a good mood. And if the Vikings went to a Super Bowl, it's not like you'd see me sitting in my living room with my Kirk Cousins jersey on.
I have a Viking cardigan that I'm ready to jump on the bandwagon at any minute.
So why don't you get on board? The water's warm. It's
I'll
great.
wait till they do well. I feel like I'm not ready to go. That's why I told you I'm a fair weather friend.
You have to be willing to ride the emotional roller coaster.
Do I? Watch me. Watch me if they do well. Watch me. I have so much Twins gear because I used to live right next to there. When the Twins do well, if they make it anywhere, I'll be wearing that gear acting like I've been a fan forever. I don't even care if this audio comes back out and haunts me. I don't care. That's the fun thing about my life. I'll just jump onto whatever is more fun. I will never jump onto being a fan. I will never do the Packer thing. I promise that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I do find it really funny that the Vikings are so low on the totem pole that we think that the Packers are our enemy, and they're like actually our enemy is the Bears.
The Bears, yeah.
So it's like it's like that. You know, have you ever seen those when you have three friends? There's always two that are closer.
Yep.
We're the third friend.
Yep.
But also, I think that a little bit of that too is because they like. Packer fans know how much Vikings fans hate the Packers that they use the Bears as like a little bit of just a stick in the side.
It hurts.
Like, oh, we don't even really care about you guys.
Oh my
that
God,
much.
you guys are
like,
still mad at us for that? Yeah. We didn't even notice.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God, we still have your Tupperware bowl from that last thing. We didn't even notice that.
Yep, no, I have one of my college teammates. He ended up playing. Well, two of them actually ended up playing for the Packers, and I told them like
that's wild.
I was like, hey, like I hope you guys personally play very well. But I hope you lose every single game that you take the field on. Like
which it should be.
Right.
I don't like the fact that at the end of the basketball game, at the end of the football game, these guys are out there in the purse circle handing off jerseys to one another. I want there to be animosity. I want them to hate each other.
Yeah, the old school, especially in basketball, where it used to be like, we hate you. We are like the Jordan rules where it's very hard fouls in the paint. Like a little bit of that is, I think, good for sports.
Was it the 94 Pistons who lost to the Bulls in the playoffs? Walked off the court.
Yeah.
Didn't shake hands, nothing. Just walked right off the court. Game 6, they lost. Out they went. No handshake. No, hey, great series. Best of luck to you guys in the playoffs. Nothing. Walked off the court. Good for them.
No, is it the greatest sportsmanship? No.
No, not at all.
Am I here for the drama? 100%.
1,000%, yeah.
All right, we got to give Judd the last word on it. He came back, and if it works, Judd, then it's meant to be. I'm putting adding him a stream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I think we hit it at the same time.
I got it.
I'll let you do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Judd, you're back.
All right, this is the last time. This is my last effort.
I even wrote you an email saying you didn't have to, so I appreciate it.
Okay. Did I just freeze on the screen?
No, you're good.
Nope.
No.
No, I think we just were awkward.
Yeah.
They're talking about just like the pure rivalry of the Vikings and the Packers and how we're not even the Packers rivalry. And that's very painful.
Yeah, the Packers have a polka song called The Bears Still Suck.
Yeah.
We haven't written run about the Vikings yet.
That's so insulting. How dare
you?
you?
Yeah, the Packers hate the Bears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a rough one.
Although, Judd, have you been to Lambeau?
Vikings Packer thing is fun, but yeah, the Bears is a lot more hate.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Have you been to Lambeau
Several
before?
times.
Okay, good, because there is something about that stadium. I was there last Sunday during that Packers Seahawks preseason game.
Several times.
And just driving around, just checking it out and being around the people. It is, I'm telling you, it's a blast. It's so much more fun than a Vikings tailgate. Way more fun.
Well, because there's a lot more alcohol.
Well, you got to be drunk to live in that state.
That's true.
Green Bay is literally just the Packers. There's nothing else going on there. Like,
yeah, you don't see somebody with like the Green Bay minor league hockey team jersey.
No, and like nobody's vacationing in Green Bay. Like it's like what Joakim Noah said about Cleveland back in the day. Like what's so great about Cleveland? That's how I feel about Green Bay.
Yeah.
Like, what's so great about Green Bay?
I had a corporate gig there, a year ago. And I hadn't driven to Green Bay like outside of being on a bus or like with a bunch of drunken idiots. So driving to Green Bay, the gig was downtown Green Bay, and my Waze was telling me, you are 6 minutes from your destination, downtown Green Bay. At that moment, I was in the middle of a goddamn cornfield.
That's so wild.
I thought, how the hell, where is downtown Green Bay?
It's going to sneak up on you, bro.
6 minutes away. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. Judd, I understand you probably got to be up by 38, and we're still having internet problems, man. So why don't you just go ahead and hit the road and enjoy the rest of your morning? Sure thing, Rudy. All right, sounds
Love
good.
you,
Judd.
Judd.
Everybody.
Poor guy. And we're going to have Allie on, too, from Chicago, so we'll see if that works out. Poor thing, it'll be a first time.
You want to bring Allie on now?
Yeah, let's Allie. Get the heck on here.
Had to leave a little early.
Oh, Tevin, when's the last time you saw Allie?
Probably the last time I saw Allie was at like the state fair.
Oh, hi, how you?
Years and years ago.
Uh-oh. I think we might have problems, too.
Oh, no, Allie, you came on our first. Oh, we like your studio.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah,
really cute. You look like $1 million.
So you got a little custom Allie neon sign in the background.
Oh wow!
On air, I love.
That's not the Necco nightclub, is it? You don't have a velvet rope and
You're
a
not
dude
going to get your
outside?
balls chomped on. Don't ask questions. All right, we love you, Allie. We're going to try again tomorrow. Our internet's crap. All right.
Yeah. No, you can see. It looks like she's in slow motion right now. She's running.
Just a slow
Poor
run.
everybody.
Speaking of that slow motion run, have you seen the comedian that does
wonderfully funny,
Oh
hilarious?
my
Tell me.
gosh! If it's a comedian, I don't even know what the whole bit is, and I apologize, I don't know his name, but he does this like slow motion soccer celebration, and it is incredible.
Is it so
like,
good?
yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
on
we'll
there.
bring it
But
up
yeah.
for Brittany in that studio.
But yeah, anyway, it's incredible. Do you know who the comedian is?
I don't know who he is, but I have seen the bit. Very funny. He's very good at this.
But yeah, anyway, it's probably not something great for radio because it's a video. But
My mom just texted me 2 seconds ago saying she has pink eye, and so now I got to try to twist this to act like Beverly gave Go-Go pink eye, which is probably not how it went down. So I just want to tell you guys, I'm totally working on gaslighting my own mom.
Yeah.
Because I mean, 1,000% Go-Go gave her pink eye.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, we don't know the origins. My mom's like, Brittany. So I'm working on that as well. I do love that you did post something that you just casually threw up there. And it's one of the worst stories I've ever heard. This puppy stolen from Golden Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why did you casually put that up there? Plus, like, we have a rule. We can't be too sad. And this feels like this is really sad. Did we have any follow-up on this either?
I have no follow-up for it. But
Okay,
yeah,
give me the actual story.
So the actual story was, I believe it was in Golden Valley, Golden Valley. There was a family that was duct taped in their home, bunch of stuff stolen, but including 8 puppies. I believe they were pit bull puppies. So it sounds like it was a total of $100,000 in valuables. Golden Valley, and it was like an inside job. So it was one of their family members. It sounds like got a couple. They were forced in the kitchen. They were tied up, their hands, legs, mouths bound with duct tape. Jewelry, gaming systems, several high-dollar purses, 8 American Bully Merle puppies, 3 males, 5 females. So it definitely sounds like potentially they bred dogs. Priced between $5,000 to $10,000 each, and they stole their 2019 Dodge Challenger.
What? Not the Dodge Challenger.
Loaded all their stuff up into the car.
Oh, that's so sad.
It says, as of Wednesday morning, no arrests have been made. But it sounds like it was an inside job because they had help from a family member. They knew exactly where they were looking, and so it sounds like they're kind of in and out. So yeah.
I feel like how are they? See, again, this is the disillusion I have. They're not going to get away with it, but like they probably are.
They probably will. And I would potentially guess that if they know the family member, like if it was an inside job, they probably have some idea of who it is. And depending on how they were raised, if it's like you get those crimes committed all the time where they're like, I know who it was, but I'm not telling because I'm going to go back over there and get my stuff. So it could be one of those situations too.
That's like, okay, so of course, in my mind goes to when you first said that like 8 puppies were stolen from Golden Valley. I thought the Golden Valley has this beautiful humane society. So I was like, oh no, they stole 8 rescue puppies. That's how dumb I am. No. Nobody's stealing rescue puppies. You can get like $20 for them.
Yeah. Well, and I guess in my defense too, when I put the thing in the list, I just put 8 puppies stolen. Like not really a whole. It was like the very clickbaity type situation.
Devin's trying to get me to click on his stories. 8 puppies stolen from Golden Valley, and of course I was like, oh, what? These rescue puppies? Oh no! Oh no!
Because you shamed me into putting stories in this little document.
Oh, because you wanted to host the show.
Well, because you were very condescending. So I was hoping that you would put some stories in there.
No, I put on a group chat. I was like, hey guys, post stories. And I was going to Tevin. I go, hey Tevin, whatever. And you go, sounds good. I'll even post some. And I go, that's exactly what I was intending with this message. It was like such a weird moment where I was like,
well, because I read your message wrong because it said like Tom's thing. And so I was like, oh, this must be Tom's other number that I, for some reason, don't have saved in my phone. And I didn't even think that it would be Rudy. And
you sounded like such the talent. It was.
Well, I mean, have you seen me? Like, that's. what this whole situation was. You were supposed to find the stories for me to
I
talk
go,
about.
okay, just add a bunch. And he goes, yeah, I'll add some too. I said, yeah, that's what I was trying to convey, you idiot.
Getting back to puppies being stolen, am I the only one when I hear stories like that think of Montgomery Burns from The Simpsons going,
Oh,
see
yeah.
my vest, see my vest made out of gorilla chest.
Yes! Oh my God, you just unlocked a memory I didn't even remember I had.
See these loafers, former
Gophers.
gophers. See, yeah, these, those.
I can't believe I even remember that. And the whole dance routine was just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Did he steal Santa's little helpers, puppies?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yes, they did. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, because he was looking to make like a suit, wasn't it? Or a coat?
Yeah.
It was kind of a play on, obviously a play on 101 Dalmatians. Yeah.
I completely forgot that even existed in my brain. Like, that's one of those things where somebody unlocks and now my whole brain is completely caught up into him doing his like loafer dance.
Sure.
Showing off the dead gophers.
Yeah. Something made of polar bear, I remember.
Yeah.
There was a few of it. It's been such a long time. But yeah, well, good. That'll be dancing around your head for the rest of the day. Congratulations.
I do have another job that at least this one I want to, after the break, talk about. Anytime you think your job sucks, just remember you could be locked in a freezer. We'll talk about that next here on the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at TomBarnardShow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust, who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
I really have to say I'm feeling great, and I have to give the credit to mnfatloss.com. After going on the program this spring, I'm nearly at my ultimate weight loss goal. You know, there's no shame in gaining weight as we get a little bit older. But I think you'd feel better, more energetic, and feel better in your clothes. A reset like mnfatloss.com could be the answer for you, just like it has been for me. I'm not even worried about temptations like the state fair. I'm not hungry. I don't crave carbs or sugar. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, that's about a pound of fat every day, no exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you.
9:46, the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Outside today, 30% chance of shower is going to be high near 93 today.
I love
it. Damn hot. Tonight, lows around 63. On Wednesday, cloudy with a high near 68. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high near 70. So things are looking better. And then by Friday, sunny with a high near 76. Trying to join us all the way from Chicago, longtime Chicago radio personality and former Minneapolis radio personality, Matta, who's are you in a goddamn blue, what is this? It's like a sauna? What is that thing? It's like the most pristine closet I've ever seen with a...
This is my super high-tech studio / closet I share with
You
my
look
friend.
cool as heck. Like, I know that like you're my best friend and I would hype you up anyways, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm intimidated. Like, you look cool. It looks like there's smoke coming up from that room.
This time. Hey, Brittany, did you know on these, I was playing around with this like StreamYard thing you guys are doing, and there's something that you can do to make your face look better.
Duh. You don't think I know that, girl?
That's why we use StreamYard.
Trust us.
That's hilarious that you come in. The day it came on, I go, Rudy, there's an improve your appearance button.
Yeah.
I clicked that bad boy so quick, and now like I don't have to get Botox as often because of the one thing.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Allie's about to try to sell us bottle service.
Yeah, lean down a little.
You
Yeah.
guys, like,
Yes. I'll take it all.
we have
Yeah.
a special deal today.
Would it impress you?
Vodka, peach flavor.
I'll have that. Get your favorite flavor. Girlie, what's Chicago like? What's going on over there?
It's good, actually. I just got back. I was at the state fair just for a day for my sister's birthday to take my nephews, and it was amazing. It was everything the state fair always is, right? Food.
It is
people.
impressive that you flew in for the state fair, and I think people need to like stop and realize that the whole world, especially because of like TikTok and videos, the whole world during the state fair is obsessed with us, and it's pretty cool.
Okay.
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
It's like there's
the state fair is great. Like I love the state fair, but the whole world is
the
not
whole world is
obsessed.
obsessed with us right now. It's like get a hobby.
If I tell someone from the outside about the state fair, they just go, "Oh, I heard the cookies are good,"
which
aren't even the best
Sweet
part
Martha's
of the state fair.
branches
Like,
are.
I mean, the bucket's cool. We love that bucket. We use that bucket way too often.
My girlfriend will go. She has to get the bucket so she can take her little picture for Instagram, and then it ends up me eating 3 dozen chocolate chip cookies so I can put the lid back on.
They do not hold up well when they are not warm. You have to put them either in the air fryer if you're really ambitious, or just zap them in the microwave for a little bit.
Wow, air fryer.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
We pull out the air fryer a lot at my house.
Oh, and people, especially black people, put a lot of things that probably shouldn't be cooked in the air fryer
Same.
to cook stuff in the air fryer.
It's like looking in a mirror when I look at you.
By black people, I mean Brittany.
By obviously, you mean an extension.
I saw somebody put a lobster in an air fryer.
Okay, that's alive?
Was it dead?
Full?
I don't know. It was on Instagram.
Did he have a social security number? Oh my God.
Okay, so I'm on the plane ride back.
Okay.
And there's a kid that's crying the entire time. Have you guys ever been on a plane where the kid cries?
Yeah,
the
my
entire time?
own. It was terrible.
Yeah, and so I felt bad for the people because I was thinking of people like you, Brittany.
Yeah.
I was like, this could
Pure
be your
panic.
best friend
Yeah.
with her child. Don't even be mean in the slightest, Ellie. So it wasn't. I was very respectful. And I was like, that was probably one of the worst flights I've ever had. And it was only 2 hours, not even. And then I read a story this morning.
Yes.
That there was a plane. Did you see this, Tevin?
I heard about this, yes.
Did you guys talk about this?
Not
Okay,
yet.
good.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Okay, so from Atlanta, Rudy, to Barcelona, there was a plane full of like almost 400 people. Someone got diarrhea like in the aisle and ran up and down or something.
Yeah, like
So it was like a biohazard. And that happened in the first 2 hours of the 8-hour flight. They had to turn around right as they were like about to leave the United
There's not
States.
another place to stop?
No, they had to go back to Atlanta and clean the plane. It was,
Yeah.
I think it was a Delta flight, so obviously it's a hub there. But they took like maybe 2 hours to clean the plane, and I thought, when was the last time that the cleaners on the plane did a good job? Like, would you want to get back on that plane to Barcelona for 8 hours and be like, oh, it's clean now?
Also, so many questions. Why did the guy have to keep running up and down the aisle with diarrhea? Like, do one central spot. Like, I get the oopsies.
Right.
I get the
Right.
oopsies. If anyone can relate to an oopsies, like, I have pooped while running. It's not great. You don't love your life. You're not living your best. So I understand the oopsies. But, like, how do you then take that oopsies and make it everybody's problem?
Yeah. Here's audio of the pilot radioing back to tower in Atlanta.
Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
He just all the way through the airport.
Right. And then once everybody gets off, I'm assuming you get on a different plane or the same one after it's clean. But the guy with the diarrhea, I'm not getting back on the same. I will wait till the next one. Like, I can't show my
I
face
love how
around those people anymore.
You know how like most crimes are committed by men? It's just a fact. I love how we assume it's a man who had the diarrhea. I just love that we were all on the same page with the imagery of a man going up and down the aisles pooping.
Yeah, because I assume that a female in that situation is either more prepared to make it to the bathroom on time, or like you're saying, just one central
One
location
central
for the
area.
diarrhea,
We wouldn't
and
make
then-
it everyone's problem. Listen,
No.
I forgot to put a tampon in and bled out. It's fine. We've all done gross things.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Whatever. This is a human body. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
right.
It was so beautiful when I saw the woman with Crohn's running through the Mall of America trying to make it to the bathroom on time.
I feel.
And what's crazy is she ran past me. I just walked in one of the doors from the parking ramp, and they have the bathrooms right next to the door. She ran past me, and as she was running, I thought, that was so weird. Why? And then I looked on the floor and went, oh, that's why she was running.
See, I think you just have to, like, it's like when you get lost in a mall. Quit running, stay where you are, and like your friends will find you. Like that's how I feel about when you're diarrheaing everywhere. Stay in a central spot and just sit there and find a friend. Be like, anybody, come to me.
Well, but I walked around the corner and I found like somebody who was I don't know, it wasn't security, but it was obviously like somebody from a janitorial thing.
Position.
And I said, hey, there's a little thing over on the other side of the hallway. And he goes, oh, can you show me? I said, yeah. So we walked back. And as I turned the corner, I looked down and there was a pile there with a Nike symbol in it. And then I looked and there was a dude sitting on a bench and he had a pen and he was scraping the bottom of his shoe and he was so angry. So angry. And I thought, as a guy who's in his 40s who's starting to get into sneakers, I would have thrown him right off the top of that parking ramp. So
And
mad.
just a side note, the smell of human feces compared to like dog or cat or whatever.
It's different.
It's like 10 times worse.
It's different.
Have
It's
you-
definitely different.
Yeah. That's
Especially
why we
like this
immediately
is
get rid of it.
This is a sick person's mess too. Like it's a different. It's next level, that bad boy.
Right.
It's crazy.
And then turning around and flying like 2 hours back, like, yes,
I
it's
have to
shorter than
sit
6
there.
hours, but now we're all in this airplane.
Together.
You can't just roll down a window and air this thing out. You're just in this diarrhea.
I wonder how many people threw up.
Oh, probably a lot.
Oh,
I
I
would
would.
probably have thrown up.
Yeah, that's a lot. And again, I would just be like, you guys, let's power through and keep going. Like, let's just vote as a team to power through. Because nothing I hate more than being on an airplane longer than you need to be. Have you ever sat on the tarmac for an hour?
Tarmac.
It's the worst because you're like, I'm adding this on. Like, I've scheduled out a movie. If I have the baby, I've scheduled the feeding. Like, there's nothing worse, the panic that goes in. So to know that you have to 2 hours back and then get on the plane again, I'd be like, let's power through, guys. Come on, let's take a consensus and see how we feel.
As you said that, it reminded me. I'm just picturing on the plane that scene from the movie Stand By Me where the kid overeats the blueberry pies. And then it comes up and everybody sees it. And then
And they
they start,
start throwing
it's
up.
just a chain reaction.
And I'm telling you this, Allie, you know how you're talking about a crying baby for 2 hours? Nobody had a worse experience than that parent. Because, like,
Oh, I know.
It is the most helpless you've ever been. And so, like, if you ever see a parent walking down the aisles trying to calm the kid, just give them, like, I have people always give me a little smile or say, you're doing good. Like, don't give advice because that's not super helpful at the time because that person has tried everything. But just give them that, like, smile of, like, we know.
Right. And yeah, because also, like, this isn't the first baby that's cried on an airplane. We all understand that it sucks.
I
Like,
probably cried on an airplane.
everybody be
And
quiet.
but what made me the saddest was like the kid was so loud and the parents couldn't, like, no matter what they did, nothing was working. And the parents, like, you could tell, like, they were just like didn't even want to talk to each other.
No.
You know, and I was like, at one point in time, these people couldn't keep their hands off of each other.
Oh, no. Me and
they
my
they had
husband
a
and I.
sexual relationship.
And we do this thing, too, because the baby will be crying in your ear and the one person tries to talk to you at a normal tone.
Yeah.
And you go, I can't hear anything you're saying. I cannot hear anything you're saying. The level of, like,
Stop talking.
brutal monster I become is like the way I am normally here.
Hey.
I turn towards my husband.
And then you're like, I told you we shouldn't even we should have drove to wherever we're going.
Right? Why did we go to
just wanna
Florida?
bring the baby.
Yeah.
Why did we go to Florida? I hate every decision. Why? Why did we do that? Why did we procreate? You just like every decision, and you've literally created why that person was the problem. Like they've decided that they were supposed to bring this magical item. No, we turn on each other so quick.
Can you put the baby in like the pet carrier type situation
you
under the
cannot,
plane?
So
is that allowed?
But they do have these hangy
great
beds.
idea.
As the kid gets older, you can hang a bed off the 2 seats in front of you. And it's like this, like creates this flat thing for them to lay on, which would be super helpful from age like 2 to 4.
Yeah, no, my girlfriend's big thing now is she wants to get my dog registered as a pet.
I've met your dog is a menace
I'm
to
like,
society.
I will not
Prince
bring
is
Prince
literally
on
the
any
worst
type
trained
of
dog.
plane. Okay, he is not the worst. He can sit, he
how
stands,
many
he
people?
shakes.
How many people have chased him down at the dog park with you?
More than I would like to admit.
I always tell people are like, oh, I've always wanted to meet Tevin. I go, oh, you've probably helped find his dog.
Probably half of Minneapolis has helped me track down my dog. Like,
It's a bad.
the
If your
husky in
dog
him. He
doesn't.
runs.
Okay, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The
Have you
husky
seen?
in him.
Have you seen what's the Balto, the animated movie? Or
Yeah,
like
the dog that's super
the
well trained
sled
that
dogs?
saves
Yeah,
lives.
They like to run.
The dog that's fake.
It's not the Allie. You know what? I think you're breaking up.
Here's the thing. I think your dog is. If your dog will not come back to you at a dog park, yours falls in one of the worst trained dogs. And I don't mean if that's your roll like that.
It's not that he. It's not that he doesn't come back. It's just that he likes to explore. He's very friendly and he likes to meet new people.
It's just a husky thing.
Yeah, it's just a husky thing. Ask
And by the
anybody
way,
with a husky.
it's not
that's
a
it.
real
husky.
husky.
Are tied to each other like
it's
prisoners
not-
on a rope for
Allie,
a reason.
Allie,
They will
it's-
run away and escape and not come back.
I can't stress enough. It's not a real husky.
It's a Pomsky, so it's better than a husky. It's half Pomeranian, half husky.
It's
and
not
I
even-
see that look on your face right now. He's so cute.
He's like this big.
Everybody go Sir Prince the Pup on Instagram. He's so cute. Yeah.
So your
who runs that
girlfriend bought
Insta?
him, or you were like,
Oh no, I had him
"This is my
before
dog."
the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, if,
He's
This is
lovely.
the dog
Yeah.
for
I've
me.
met him. He's super cute, very sweet, but he's definitely was one of those smaller ones that they looked kind of like a husky, so now they advertise him as husky. He's got no husky in him.
Yeah, he does.
No, I don't believe that.
No. How are you going to tell me about my own dog?
Because first off, I feel like you think that this dog has husky, and there's no way that it has husky in it.
Okay. Well, he has bicolored eyes, which is a husky trait. He has the husky. It's literally his dad is a part husky.
I don't believe that at
I
all.
love hearing everybody talk about their super athletic dogs while mine is just right now just completely curled up in a ball on a couch.
Breathing heavy.
Who's just farting and panting, and that's all he does all day.
I
I would
almost
honestly
sent you-
rather have that at this point.
I almost sent you a list because I saw this video the other day that was lists of laziest dogs, and your dog was the top of the list. And how they're like, if you want to just walk out to the mailbox, get your mail, and have your dog breathing heavily, like I need a break. That's
What
the
kind of dog
English.
do you have?
English bulldog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah, I have 3 stairs that get up to my side door when I take him out in the morning,
It's a
and
mountain.
he just his ass end drags up the last 2 stairs because he doesn't
needs
have
a
it in him.
break.
I call those 3 stairs Paul's Everest. He has to deal with that when he gets to the top. He just looks at everything he owns. So he takes a break, takes it all
Takes
in.
it all in.
Yeah.
Sense of accomplishment.
He puts a flag down. Did it again. Did he snore when he sleep too?
Yeah, he's pretty bad about it.
I always feel bad when dogs, you got those the breathing problems.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay for him to get his deviated septum fixed as well?
We are 7/8 of an inch long enough to not have that surgery because he's already 10.
And that surgery probably costs like $10,000.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
it's an insane amount. Yeah, and even if he wasn't that 7/8 of an inch, sorry, dude, you're a dog. You don't know. I got other things to pay for. I love you, but I'm not. These people. There's a great joke. I love this joke from Saturday Night Live, and it was Seth Meyers who said a woman in New York paid $5,000 to have her cat's hip replaced, which is $5,000 more than a new cat.
Yeah.
I love the joke because I've said that all the time. Like, you guys are blowing all this dough. You can just buy new dogs.
You're hitting a nerve with Allie because she just went broke on Reggie's limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like half robot now.
And cancer and allergies. And
No,
he's
there
old.
was a
It's okay.
Vikings player, Trey Waynes. I interviewed him on a podcast, and he was talking about these dogs he got. He flew to Spain to get him. It was some super rare breed. Got him home. Like, they only ate fresh meat. He paid hundreds of dollars every day to feed him. But anyway, he was gone, and one of the dogs ate a stick and had to get it surgically removed. And it was like a $15,000. And I was like, dude, I would have just gotten a new dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry.
that's,
I agree.
at some point, no.
It depends on the dog. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Oh, on that note, after that great talk, Allie, it was lovely having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, you guys.
Are you coming back tomorrow?
Tevin, good to see you.
Yeah, it was good to see you as well.
Yeah, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yes. All right. We'll be back tomorrow on Tom Barnard Podcast.